Are we live? Are we good? All right. Welcome. Sorry for late start, everyone. I'm Cora. I'm casting here with V. First time on the cast. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, V.
Hi, I'm V. My IGN is Rain Candy. Um, Still kind of new, but I've been playing for a couple sets now in ranked and stuff, and I've peaked around mid-masters.
Nice. Yeah, we're bringing final day of TPC today. Should be some exciting games. If we can hover the encounter because we missed it, I'm curious what we got. 3-cost start. All right. Exciting for all our Ornn and Samira players that I'm sure we will see a lot today. So if you're not tired of Ornn Samira, you will see it every game today, I am sure. I was looking at the EMEA earlier, and there was almost average 2 players per game. So should be fun.
Interesting that Bra, who is the only one actually sitting here making 10. This tournament in particular, he's been playing very high caps since pulling off, which is why he's here right now. Very first or 8th playstyle, a bunch of top 2s in his match history, looking to carry that over today.
Oh man, we got an insta Pike Hero reroll. No Pike Hero augments today.
Yeah, I think that's for the best.
We want some exciting gameplay, not just Samira every game. But I don't expect any hero augments other than Gragas. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Gragas come out if somebody has the right one. But other than that, I wouldn't expect any hero augments.
Prize fighter here after opening and making 10 is kind of interesting.
Yeah, because that's something you don't normally want to click if you don't have like a strong opener, you don't have 2 stars, you don't have anything, and we're full open for...
We have not slammed.
You're not going to get prize fighter value, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Normally you would just want to be able to slam stuff, but...
Oh, that's fun. That is an aura farming Vex with the Rabadons.
Yeah, so mentioned earlier, Samira Ornn, like most played, almost 2 per game. The next most played comp, Fast 9 Vex. And so just starting with a Vex with a death cap already, pretty good. Dish Soap has double duplicator, but has Rage Blade slammed, so might not be. Oh, we do have a Samira. We could just take a Samira and 2-star it. But I don't know if that's what you're looking to do with Rage Blade. I'm not sure 100% what you want from Rage Blade and dupes, but...
You could be looking at Diana here with holding the Vanguard opener.
That's true. What is do we know our Stargazer? It is Serpent, so that is the best, what pros consider to be the best for Xayah. Typically you don't slam Rage Blade for it, but it is a potential out.
We have another opener, Setsuko taking the duplicators and then opening. I'm assuming he's going to try to play Smear from here. In his match history, he does have a game of Kai'Sa with Alawi reroll. Maybe that's something he's looking to do.
I feel like we definitely have not seen a lot of Kai'Sa since like 2 patches ago. I feel like it's definitely still kind of like strong, but everyone forgot about it. And it's going to struggle into Ornn. But everything struggles into Ornn, so...
Yeah, that might not be a Kai'Sa problem. Early learnings into the Darkstar reroll here is also another pretty interesting spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is something you want to see more from Prize Fighter, like this is a strong board, but then I looked and he's on a 2 loss streak, so... Maybe not, we're selling and hopefully... Okay, makes 20 by selling, which is nice, while still only playing with 3 units, because as we saw, like half this lobby seems like it's open. So, smart of Marcel to track his matchups and see that it can make 20 without having to play an extra unit.
Curious how early learnings would do in this type of line. It's not exactly something I would imagine off the top of my head to be great. I personally don't like the actual numbers you get on early learnings, unless you're playing for like 3 or more 1 costs, but we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, I think early learnings value is definitely just some like +2 XP and not the actual stats. I'm curious here, I saw right before Soju picked up Samira Ornn, And then
That
with
would
this
be
Varus boon, getting a 3 cost of one you own already seems like pretty good for all those players that have it. It looks like only, yep, Soju took it and Cambule. So those are the 2 players I'm interested to see in what boards they have and what upgrades they get from their 3 stars. So Soju gets 2
another
Samira,
Samira.
1,000 ore.
Okay.
However, our augments are we took Spreading Roots and got Rogue Nova. So I don't know if this is just a completely ignore the emblems and we're playing Samira now. Like, we have good items for it. We're just gonna cash out to Anima and see what gets. I'm curious if like is just holding these to deny or if to actually like play this line.
I think with the Rogue Emblem, you actually have a pretty good Nami spot for the most part. That eventually moves over to like a Blitzcrank type of thing late game, but especially on stage 4, like it's a pretty good item on the Nami and can let you try to eventually econ back up and make it to 9 around this Blitzcrank. With the Reforger, it'll be very interesting to see what he ends up wanting to do once he cashes out.
Yeah, because it's definitely something that just based off Anima cash out could just reforge both emblems and see if like does want to play the Samira line. Like we see we're holding even more. We picked up the Nasus as well, so we'll see how long it stays in the Anima. I would imagine we just keep saving. We go for like a 300, 400, or we just take it now and we switch over to Samira.
What I would imagine he'd do from here.
I think it's one of those where it's like if he has like Setsuko in his pool next, I'm not sure what his matchups are, where it's like, okay, then maybe. You just cash out now because you know you're not gonna continue the streak.
Yeah, because you aren't going to try to push it past 200 anyway. Around 3-2, he probably wants to start winning. And if he gets his streak broken, he's just never cashing out.
Yeah.
Might as well just take the 3 gold, and then item is always an item.
Yeah, we see Brotherhood on the other side. I think with this red buff slam, we see holding the Jaxes. I think that's going to be one of our Xayah players. Especially like if start getting the prize fighter value at some point. Like that comp love. There's so many units you can itemize in there. And the Samira is just a great holder while denying the other players. And that's a huge win there.
That is so important.
To get the prize fighter. One more check to get an extra item.
Just so losing the streak on that as well.
That's crazy.
Kind of a big deal.
What is I'd love to take a look at CMB's board, who's on full 5 streak to see. Ooh, Brawler Sunfire Talent. That is, I understand why we are 5 streaking.
Yeah.
And we're getting all this extra value from Primordian as well, from all these resources. Like we're 40 gold while having a couple of 2 stars. Like this is what you want from a strong opener. Let's CMB as our lone LATAM representative today.
It'll be interesting to see how he decides to cap out this board. With the Sunfire Slam, you're not really going to be looking at something like a Xayah, which would also be a pretty decent Brawler Emblem holder for a little bit. Definitely going to be a Yi line. We've seen people being a lot less high on it over the last couple of weeks, but the comp can still cap pretty high, especially with this Bruiser Emblem. It'll be interesting to see how he navigates his stage 4 off of this win streak.
Yeah, I like it a lot here too, in like checkmate format. I think E is one of those that is really hard to like win out, but I do like it here as like a like just play it for your strong top 4. Like if you can pull out like a second or a third, like it puts you in good position to get points to be able to go for to put you into check by game 3, so that like you're like you don't have to fight for that top place position with like Samira players or whatever.
Going to be continuing the win streak against Setsuko, who's just now reaching his 6th loss at 59 HP. He's going to need to figure out something, coming around 3-5 most likely.
Ooh, Recon Bob. Oh.
Yeah.
Incorrect choice, but always fun. Let's see if we get even more duplicators across the board.
Interesting what Setsuko takes here. A lot of this lobby, I feel like, will be decided by whatever these loose streakers kind of fit themselves into over the next couple of rounds. Takes Voyager Emblem off branching out. This is pretty good. It fits really well into these like Karma, and if you can hit a Sona on level 8, this is usually like playing Karma 2 with a Sona duo carry is usually been enough to get people to reach 9, where you can actually cap out with like not a fast 9, but like a level 9 AP board. Interesting to see what he does with this spot though. So
Yeah, I think
like,
the other line that you could possibly do, because you can do a lot of AP flex, you mentioned, like the Karma definitely slots in with it, and like you can play like the Sona, but I've also seen like sometimes like Acel, which I feel like we're seeing a bit less. But I think Acel is also a good user of that. Like you can get so much damage amp from that Voyager spot. But I think those are like the only two lines that I potentially see from it if we're not looking to reforge.
yeah, still kind of wondering if he's just going to use this dupes to stabilize on some kind of level 8 board, or if he is going to try to find something to roll down for on 3-5.
It could also be something that uses like temporary, because if oh, Setsuko's one of the ones that took Varus Boon. I was gonna say with craftsmanship, the value of like emblem traits like that go up so much more because you know you're getting a Reforger every turn that you can play a whole bunch. But that is not the case here because we took Varus Boon.
If I remember correctly, we only have one person really angling for this space groove board, right? It's just Soju.
Yeah, that's the only one that I saw, unless like if there's anyone else. I don't think we even saw anyone angling the Nami to like play like the more like fast 8 space groove. So if Soju is the only one there on Samira, it's not even going to be contested by Nami players and should hit fairly quickly.
Yep. Also wondering like whether or not Setsuko, he just needs to play around some kind of 4-cost AP on level 8. He wants to go 9 with this setup. If we Soju with the Samira 2, he's going to start putting in a lot of work soon.
I expect to see Soju instantly click Varus again. Get yet another Samira.
I didn't know you
Yep,
could get
Soju.
this twice in a row.
I did not know that either. That is something new I've learned today already.
That is pretty good. Gets a do you take the sword? And sword or Tom Kench, both are pretty fucking good. Oh,
I'm not sure because
pretty
sometimes
freaking good.
spectator client will lie a bit on like who we're looking at and who like what item they actually see. But a Samira and a TK, pretty good.
His items look really good as well. Oh, okay, yeah. It's a Last Whisper in as well? Why not?
And then yeah, we just have this sparking prototype that
He
won't really
reforged
do
into
much, but not important. Oh, and we got what is the name of this? Duo Guardians? I forget.
Twin
the exact
Guardians.
name. Twin Guardians. That's what it is. I think that is also by far one of the best augments for this comp.
Comp pretty much functions as almost an Ornn carry just by how much this guy lives and this guy just eats damage. So anything that can buff this guy up will be really good. Twin Guardians, especially for a silver, is insane value onto this Ornn.
Yeah, I do find it interesting that we're putting the Anima item on the Ornn though to make Radiant Stoneplate, because I feel like Radiant Stoneplate's not as good as it used to be, and I feel like you'd rather just have a full item instead of having that Anima one there. Especially when you have Twin Guardian giving you all the extra resistances. Like, I feel like if you high roll like any health item there, I feel like that's better than getting a Radiant Stoneplate. But, I mean, I think he's winning out regardless from that point, yep. So it doesn't matter.
Marcel on 7 Shogats and 6 Lysandras. Opting to chill here, is still fairly healthy. Does need to get online kind of soon if he wants to be able to make it to the level 8 AP cap, which I assume is what he's going to be going for this game. This comp, the primary win share of this comp is if you're able to somehow end up on level 9 with a Darkstar +1, or even just vanilla and play around the front line of 6 Darkstar. This game, without that possibility, he'd always hit it on 4 too, but he'll probably be looking to stabilize on 8 or on another AP duo carry.
Yeah, I know you definitely have a lot of games on this Lysandra reroll comp, with this being pretty much the only reroll comp that, like, or 1-cost reroll that exists in the meta at the moment. I've definitely, like, seen some of your games where it, like, completely pops off, so we'll see how far it can actually go, and, like, I feel like I haven't seen it as much with, like, the rise of Samira Ornn, so I don't know how it matches up into that, because I feel like it could probably struggle to kill the Ornn, and then you just get run over, but that's, like, just every single comp.
Yeah, this everything single comp. Setsuko at 19 HP, by the way. I believe successfully pulled off the 10 loss. Be interesting to see how he recovers on 4-1. I don't think he wants to go to 1 life.
Yeah, if we're able to look over at Setsuko and see like what he takes for like the next 2 stages, and like what his roll down or like what his augment choice would be nice before, you know, he doesn't die out on the one single. Just up getting dropped at Samira or more to deny. Yeah, we see Setsuko. Oh, he's got a sniper Graves with malware already.
Please tell me we're not playing Marksman.
Yeah, if we could take a look, right click on the Graves passive to see what upgrades we get. That is Marksman Graves.
Graves, we have.
I know those upgrades. It's
Sniper-
if you look at the factory new, it's on the trait. We'll see which ones he chose.
Yeah, you go. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so
Oh,
he's got
Okay.
Marksman double tap.
I mean, with Malware Matrix, it's probably pretty good. He's gonna be playing around a Samira duo carry is a possibility with the sniper rifle even.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we meme a lot about Marksman Graves, like click it, and we actually got it picked here. And so it's like, there's definitely times where it's like, if there's ever a setup for it, it's this one. So if it doesn't work out, it's like, okay, it's never Marksman Graves, but it's like, oh, that's a lot to risk on in your first game, being 1 life, being like, yeah, I'm gonna click Marksman.
I mean, this
Even
is the
if
most
it
Setsuko thing ever, though, no?
This guy loves riding that edge, trying to find any way to just hit the truest cap of his spot. And we'll see if it pays off here. Unfortunately, gets brought down to 1 life, rotating into P3 Soju's Radiant Gargoyle Bramble Vest Orn. That cannot feel good. Pulling down here.
Yeah, and it looks like because of the malware, we definitely, it's like trying to find a way to keep in the Psionic. We use one of our dupes on the Orn. I think debating if he sells or dupes. Yeah, okay, so we sell one to get the 2-star Samira. And now we took Swordsmith to like try and get more Samira items. The Giant Slayer is good, but like not ideal because you don't really want damage amp on your snipers. And then BT, I feel like it's not super
Yeah,
helpful,
these were
so it feels
not
like we
very
low-rolled our
great.
sword item.
Yeah, that Swordsmith take has a bunch of upside, but not exactly the best here. Fortunately, it does let our Orn get a Radiant proc, but yeah, be concerned to see how well that actually what home these items will have later in the game. Is he just dead?
Yeah, this looks
He's
like
just dead.
an early exit for Setsuko with 4-2. I feel like that's one of those where it's like, I mean, if you're gonna lose, at least lose on 4-2. So it's like, okay, you time reset, you can rage for a few rounds and then like mentally reset. And it's like, okay, I won't click
that
Marksman Graves
was-
again.
It was a bit tragic.
Setsuko, on
But-
the other hand, or not Setsuko, Soju, his Vitality counterpart, does seem to be sitting quite pretty in this setup. 1 off Samira 3 already, and 6 Orns, by the way, on 4-3. This is looking like a really good spot for...
Yeah, if I had to bet on somebody to win, it would definitely be Soju at this point. And like we even got, I like how we use the Nova Spat to play the Aatrox, so like we're getting our free shred. However, we do have IE on Samira, which for those that don't know, Samira is bugged with crit. She actually does less damage with crit. So that part I feel like is a little bit questionable, because like surely Soju knows that's bugged.
I'll be
but-
honest, I think he might not, because if you see the Rogue Spat, I kind of understand making the IE there. I don't know what other homes IE has besides that.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I think IE is bugged where it's like you'd rather just like have a single sword than IE2. Like I don't know for sure on the damage. It's probably similar, so it's
What are
like
the odds that
worth
K3
reading?
Soju hits this 5 cost and 4 cost, pulls out a Blitzcrank on 7?
or even a Jin.
Jin would
But-
also be insane here.
Oh, we didn't hit either.
That's
but we
not
did hit a
even
Shen.
bad.
And we hit Samira 3, so it doesn't matter.
And we hit our Nami. Okay.
With double, I forget what the mana one is called. I know the attack speed
Leaky
one is
prototype,
sparking.
I believe.
Leaky prototype. That was, yeah, makes sense. How can we reforge the sparking one and to get double mana? Because you don't ever see two of the same one, because you can't get two of the same without reforging.
Up against Dish Soap here, I don't think the Gnar will have the damage. I don't think the Gnar did, but if you do have... I did not realize he had the Bard as well on his board.
Yeah, this is actually way closer than I kind of expected this to be, though. I kind of expected Samira to kill the units a bit faster, but I think that just comes down to it being... This Samira has like 1.5 items, it feels like. Because
Yeah.
the rogue doesn't add a lot of damage up until like... The rogue like is beneficial of when it gets procced as like a mini GA and like some Omnivamp. And then like we said, the IE being less damage. So... But...
I mean,
Yeah, I don't
hey,
know.
if this guy can high roll a Jin on level 7 or level 8, this IE looks really good. We find our Ornn 3. Rolled kind of deep, but considering he's hitting at 4-6, still making 20 on Nami pair, this is not even that big of attacks here.
Yeah, and being on 8 streak, and after how close that last fight is, I definitely agree. It's like I'm rolling down there until I hit Ornn 3 every time, because I don't want to lose my streak going into this next round. And we do see CMB on the other side playing that Brawler Yi that we mentioned, that just looking to like cash out like a 2nd or 3rd place, like top 3 finish, and just set yourself up to be able to play for like enough points to get into checkmate later.
Was that a 6 Brawler Master Yi? The health bar looked really big, and this Master Yi is, especially with Brawler Spat, is usually so good at taking down these Mega Tanks. But K3 Soju hitting that Ornn 3 this turn is 1000% the fight diff. He probably would have gotten like 4-0'd, maybe even 5-0'd without it.
Yeah, especially with the Bramble, like, Bramble just straight up countered to Master Yi. Yeah, we see CMB, it's only the 4 Brawler, not quite 6, so if we do get 6, that will be even more HP, but yeah, that does look crazy with just the 4. I think this Yi just has such a high base health, but when you give him Brawler Spot, it goes crazy.
Yep.
And then I always find it interesting when, like, some players decide when to put the Fiora in versus not, because I think different players value the crit from Aurora, or not Aurora, I don't know why
Straight
I
up
said that
sells it.
Akali. Yeah, because I think just values here, getting the Akali Nova proc, like the amount of crit, so that this E can do even more damage, because you're kind of like down half a damage. Like the Brawler Spike gives some damage, but you don't have like your 3rd one, so you kind of want the crit. That I think
has
is like,
a Belva 3?
underrated. That is not something we've seen a lot lately.
Ambuli. He was playing the MF in his spot. He might have just been rolling and found just a bunch of Belveths and decided to play for it. I think Belveth in that line with the Challengers is much better than the Primordian version of Belveth, so it'll be interesting to see how this performs. Dish Soap down to 1 life on this Gnar board, though. I can't imagine him clawing back too many fights at this stage in the game. Still needs 4 turns. Or he has the dupe. He needs 2 turns, maybe 1 turn? I don't think we can see and spectate.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to say the printer, but yeah, Inter's playing, like, for those that don't know, this Gnar quote-unquote reroll comp is you just push to level 7, collect all the Gnars you can, and then just print the rest. But it takes a lot longer to get online than it does like the Veigar print or like the Poppy Hero, because it takes 2 per turn. So you can sometimes just get in a spot like this where it's like very difficult to actually like print in time to be able to deal the damage. And like we see here, we run it into the MF3 that we hit this turn, that I'm pretty sure Cambuli sold the Maokai, because when we looked away, didn't have any gold. Sold a Maokai 2 to be able to hit the last MF. And then we see here, okay, thankfully that was 1 turn off. We can dupe this Gnar and get the print going, or to finish get our 3-star Gnar. But I don't know that it's enough to win fights from here.
Yeah, ideally with this Gnar setup, you would have been trying to win like maybe a couple of rounds before this. it can still definitely win some rounds, but it's definitely at the mercy of running into any of the high rollers. I would be very concerned if he ran into K3 Soju again, and also be interesting to see how he does into this giant Cho'Gath from Marcel P. Finds the Jin from the May the Force Be With You augment. 6 Darkstar on level 7.
Yeah, and that may the Force Be With You, helping this Ramus like as our like only like tank unit here at the moment. With that being 4 cost, able to tank up on enough. It looks like just long enough to stall out to hold out against this Lissandra for the Gnar to clean up. And that's one of those where if we were on Gnar 2, that fight goes completely different. So hitting just in time to be able to hit, hopefully scrape back a few positions.
Cambuly hit the 3-star and then died.
Ooh. So even having to sell our Maokai to hit MF3 and then not enough.
Yeah, he's probably just trying to see if he can win any more fights. He knew he was probably dead, just hoping to dodge some of the insane high rollers like Rubber Rahu and K3 Soju, and Ladder Slayer also putting together a streak at 19 HP.
Yeah, Soju not even being one of our streakers at the moment. We know Soju's board is like one of the strongest in the lobby, but there's 2 other players that are even streaking. So yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of scary players in this where it's like you need to win every fight. And we do have Dish Soap's Gnar coming up against Soju. And we roll the Radiant Bramble, so this is gonna take Orin is not gonna take any damage.
Yeah, even taking the full brunt of Dish Soap's boards right now, it's still pretty healthy, still tanking.
We do get the Gnar onto the Samira though, but as soon as Samira looks at Gnar, it just one-shots the entire backline, and that ends the fight there immediately.
Oh.
Having that Rogue Spat, I think, came in to save it from like the Gnar Boomerang, to make sure it doesn't like take a bunch of damage. Just procs the Rogue proc, and then just turns and shoots the Gnar and ends the fight immediately.
Marcel P, honestly, hitting the Lissandra and Cho'Gath pretty late on stage 3. This is about, yeah, this is a placement you take. Had a relatively humble, honest game of Lissandra Cho'Gath reroll. Some of these boards at this point, when you're stuck on like level 8 0 golds and none of the other really high value frontliners to play around either, this board just kind of gets blown up pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's another one that got bailed out by May the Force Be With You, got the Jin to get to the 6 Darkstar. Otherwise, probably would have fallen down to like 7. But it looks like we're going to be falling out here in 5th to the Master Yi, because with that Brawler Spat, it's not going to take enough damage from the Lissandra to be able to fall down. And instead, it's just going to tear through and knock out. And we have our top 4 for this lobby.
Yep. Ladder Slayer, our Aura Farming Vex player, has been having a pretty comfortable game, finds the Sona duo carry. This has been a pretty big adaptation in the kind of the Fast 9 meta, even though Graves is what you have kind of been hearing about this entire set, like the Vex Graves setup, Vex Graves this, Vex Graves that. Without a Graves early and honestly really good Graves items, this unit becomes really hard to win stage 5 in, and you usually have to sacrifice a lot of health to get to that type of level 9 board. So one of the adaptations in AP has been playing this Sona Bard, and sometimes in that type of line, instead of Bard or something, you'll play around this Vex if you have the items. Or in Ladder Slayer's case, when you get a Rabadon's Vex 2 from Aura Farming.
Yeah, this is a great call up there. His Later Slayer has fully streaked since they unlocked this Vex from the Aura Farming. But I like your note there on the Sona, like replacing Graves a lot. Because like what we were seeing from Graves was like taking Buckshot and just being able to spread damage across everything, so that Vex could finish off all these targets, get the stacking like AP from each unit, and just finish off each individual unit. Sona does pretty much the same thing without having to invest in upgrades. Because every Sona cast, she's hitting like a different unit there, so she's like slowly whittling them all down for this Vex to just like finish everyone off and game their stats.
Also, notably hitting the Blitzcrank 2 with 3 items as well, I believe Ladder Slayer is probably winning this game quite comfortably.
Yeah, this is definitely something I'm happy to see when like not it's like, oh, I didn't hit Graves, who needs that unit? I got Sona, I got a Blitz too. And I will be impressed if anyone is able to take this board down.
And we'll be
we see C and B
goodbye.
the first to fall out here in our top 4. But hey, you're happy there with your Brawler Yi. You did, like I said, you got your top 4 cash out, and you look for like a win out spot in one of the next games, and just you set yourself up well for the checkmate.
Master Yi stuck on 8. I am taking 5 points there any day of the week. Very happy when you look around and see spots like this on 2-1. Kind of making do with what you can do.
Yeah,
K3
you get beat by the
Soju.
Samira player, you get beat by the Aura farming Vex, and I forget exactly what Brubrahu's board is. So it's like you can't really complain when these are the boards ahead of you, and you're like, "Yep, I got my top 4 with E. I'm out."
K3 Soju, the fact that Ladder Slayer has this Blitzcrank too, cannot be feeling very happy about that. His cap is going to be severely limited this game. Really would be hoping to move this like Rogue Emblem, IE, to get to other things. However, I think at the end of the day, K3 Soju is one of those very safe. Avoid bot 4s, collect your humble top 4s, top 3s, keep it pushing.
Yeah, and Brubrahu also has a Blitz too, so that's
Wow.
definitely one of those where it's like Soju just can't. Oh, my 2 other opponents have 6 Blitzcranks, and that's where I'm sure Soju's just like, it's a bad beat, right? Like where's my Blitzcrank? Missed it from Tick, what was it? Tick Duo Q, or not Duo Q, took the boon, the Varus boon to get a 5 and a 4 cost, missed. Got Shen when you're playing Aatrox for your Nova, so the Shen doesn't even like help all that much. So we're just stuck on 5 Space Groove and can't get the 7 Space Groove value going.
Yep. But honestly, given how high this lobby like capped, this is a very capped Zaya board from Brubrahu, and the board we're seeing right now with Ladder Slayer. Samira taking anything more than a third would be a truly shocking beat, so can't imagine he's too upset with this spot.
Yeah, and like I said, we're gonna see a lot more Samira today, so first one didn't quite go the way. I'm sure we'll see some Cap Samira at some point win today. So if you are a Samira fan, you'll get it. So I just don't think there's any Samira fans that are out there anymore after the past few days.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Brubrahu can find a way to outcap this Ladder Slayer board that does not involve a 3-star Zaya. But I'm feeling pretty skeptical.
We decided to go level 10 to throw in a Sona. I don't know. I didn't quite catch if they checked the mod before to know if it was worth leveling for. This is the shield mod, I think.
I believe so. Yep.
Yeah, so I think we're just waiting to place it to see like what their positioning is to place it last second. Or we just didn't use our Sona mod at all. Not ideal, but hey, it happens. We've all done it.
Yeah.
If you say you haven't done it, you're lying. Or you've never played Sona.
Nunu did temporarily find its way to the back line, but Blitzcrank came back with the peel. This fight is actually looking pretty good.
Not quite enough to knock out Ladder Slayer, but very close. Yeah, I think having hit pretty much every upgrade here, this it's kind of crazy to see Ladder Slayer's board and be like, oh yeah, that board's losing to Zaya. But it's also like, this is a 2-star Jin. We have 2-star Blitz. Like, we have everything upgraded. We're level 10. It's like, this is about as capped as you can get on this Zaya Jin board. We even throw in we throw in Samira as well to get that extra sniper to get more damage, because we didn't even use a Sona mod, so it didn't do anything. This slightly buffs up our Blitzcrank too by getting in yet another Space Crew. So I think we definitely got a lot stronger, and we'll see if plays out that way.
These are 2 pretty equally capped boards. This Focus Fire augment as well on the Zaya engine, doing a lot of work. Especially since these fights are going pretty long with the Nunu 2 Tom Kench frontline. And
yeah,
snipes the Vex.
The Vex just struggles to kill the front line, and then meanwhile, once the like Blitz procs his passive, the backline's able to kill it, and yeah, that's all. Like, we end the game right there with Zaya. We got Serpent Zaya, one of the best ones we can see. So it's yeah, very strong finish from what we thought was kind of a scary prize fighter start from Cabulet, but it's all pretty much a full open prize fighter, which is not what you want.
Navigates the spot well, and in the face of some pretty high value units and spots with the 3-star Aura and 3-star Samira, as well as the Aura Firing Vex, can navigates the game properly, is able to win on a lot of HP, by the way, playing a strong board throughout the game, able to cap out on a level 10 Zaya board. Still, this unit gets a lot of its thunder stolen by the Samira, by the Ornn, and then by these fast 9 AP comps, but this unit, in the right setup on level 10, can beat anything. We saw it right there. A beautiful game from Brahu.
Yeah, I think, yeah, just very strong finish. A lot of strong boards. So, yeah, I think well played by everyone. Game 1, minus maybe a Marksman Graves that didn't quite play out. But hey, we'll be going into Game 2 shortly and be able to shake it off. I think we are going to run to a break real quick, and then we'll come back with standings and take a look at Game 2. Welcome back, everyone. We're back with game 2. We'll see what encounter we get. If we get anything crazy, we get Zoe. I forget what Zoe is. Gold subscription.
Let's have.
So that's one of the. I like gold sub a bit more than some of the others. You'll get a little more econ. You can hit some of the cap boards a bit more, but nothing crazy. No loot sub, but you just get free spats. No emblem ensembles. So like, pretty standard portal.
TMB, finding the Zoe Mordekaiser. This is part of a pretty good opener with Leona, especially if you hit a good Arbiter here.
Yeah, and also having the Cho'Gath too, so you can get the Dark Star like if you miss the Leona, so it's still like you have something. We see instantly puts both of those two in.
Yep. Hoping to have another solid performance after the Brawler Master Yi humble top 4 last game.
Yeah, and I forget, you need 20 points for check, I believe.
Yep.
So if you have 4, that gets you your 5 points. So like you kind of need like 2 more top 2s, because if you go, yeah, one top 3 and 1 top 2, and you're in check.
It's a Leona print. We'll see if he opts into it.
I imagine that's probably Leona print. If we can hover the Arbiter, we can figure out for sure. 50 mana, gain a Leona, perfect. So yeah, I imagine we just kind of stick with this line. This is such a great opener, having Mord pair, having Zoe, having Leona already.
And he's feeling quite happy with that one.
Oh, and we get Treasure Hunt. We could reroll it. I don't expect to, but...
I think I can check real quick. I believe there has been a single game of Zoe reroll. I don't remember how it performed.
Yeah, I don't remember. I caught like a few games throughout the weekend. I do remember seeing a Zoe reroll. I think that was the, if I remember right, I'm pretty sure the Zoe reroll game was a two tanky Leona. So they had 2 Leona 4s. So I don't know if it really counts as a Zoe reroll when you have 2 4-star Leonas. I think that's also the one, 2 4-star Leonas lost to Ornn too. So.
Yeah, however, when you get dropped Earth with an open tier, you abandon all other openers for the most part.
I imagine we stay in this opener for a bit though. We farm up some Leonas, we get like our free econ. The space group will help this like cast even more. So like with the mana for Leona gen, like you'll probably get a Leona almost every fight, and then we can just pivot out of it later.
Do you think there's ever a world where with the Leona print we can get a board with 2 Titans of the patch on it? The Leona print 3-star or 4-star Leona as well as the Ornn?
Yeah, if 2 4-star Leonas can't beat Ornn, what if we just play Leona and Ornn? Just get both. What can beat that?
Yeah, that would be quite a sight. Why pick who wins when you could just have both on your board?
Porque no los dos. We play both. But if we could take a look at some of the other openers, we can see what everyone else has. Gragas Hero Augment from Soju.
My
like
streamer.
Probably the only hero aug we'll see. If we can hover the Psionic, we'll see which augment it is. I would assume Sympathetic. I don't think we're taking without it. Oh, we have Drone Uplink and Malware. Okay, I guess Soju just values this hero augment enough and ignore Psionic, because I think both of those are really bad for Gragas, are probably like the 2 last ones you want to see for this unit.
Yep. And Dish Soap ripping the Spreading Roots into Psionic. Interesting to see what he does with this. Psionic and
a Marauder, so
that is
free.
That is pretty good. With the AP items, though, it'll be interesting to see what exactly he wants to do with this. Maybe he can even play around a Victor this game.
I think this one too. I remember watching some other players like in the first patch when Yi was very strong. And some saying like some people were on the malware train, and there were some people like Reunic who was like, no, the malware is not even good because you want like the 3 best items on Yi instead, and that really valued Sympathetic as just like a tank item. like to put it on like Tom Kench to just be able to chain cast and heal back up. So I think this is also one of the better ones. With the Psionic Emblem, you probably hit 4 Psionic though, so you could hit like, I'm not sure what his 4th Psionic or item is, but you can get one of the like Radiant Psionics and gain a lot of value there on the Master Yi.
Yep. We see Smarcel P ripping the solo plate. Finalist Gambit. Okay, I will be interested to see who takes this. I don't think a single person will.
Every single person instantly clicked KO. Not a single person thought about, except for Ladder Slayer. I don't think it is chosen yet. I think it's maybe scouting around to see. But yeah, that's kind of, yeah, I don't think.
Ladder Slayer
internally you're
did
taking it. Oh, there it
the
is.
birthday reunion. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah.
I think I'm on the same page, bro. That's just an instant click. Like, don't even tempt yourself into thinking like, oh, could I maybe survive this? It's like, no, you just take. Everyone's gonna be up an item over you, and you're like, cool, I got 3 gold. And if I top 4, it's like, okay, you're playing checkmate. Like, you just kind of like maybe if you're in check and like playing for the actual first, like maybe then like it's takeable. But in these early games where you're just trying to get enough points to put yourself into check to be able to play for it, I think it's just an insta click. I'll take the free item.
I'm assuming we're having our second space group player, by the way. Maybe even a third with Shojin JG Slam. Solo Plate is another one of these really good buff up your Ornn to be super duper tanky, as well as get a Gargoyle, which is part of the Ornn Bis. But
yeah. I think that's
interesting to see.
Yeah, because with Shojin JG, like that's definitely like Nami. You could put the Shojin on Samira or Nami, but like it had elections that. And I think all of the other like AP comps don't really want solo frontline, because like if you're looking at like a fast 9 or an AP flex, other than like we don't see anyone really playing mech anymore. And the ASOL doesn't want Shojin, so it definitely seems like it's just another space group player.
So finding the MF here, looking to kind of salvage at least a 2 streak going into these neutrals. Oh wow, that is a misfortune. Misfortunes on both sides, but one has Titanic Hydra Ginsu Guard Breaker.
Yeah, I'm curious what our Stargazer is again this game, because that could be a potential Xayah item. It's Medallion, so probably not. I don't think you're playing Xayah from Medallion. And Digital barely squeaks that one out with the MF. Just enough mana from Adaptive to win the fight.
I believe Provo who will probably be angling into this MF line here. It'll be interesting to see if Dishso will as well. I'm trying to think, you can still play Yi from this. These aren't the worst Yi items.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think who the other like good Titanic users are, because like it's like Xayah, maybe Graves, but like I don't think you're really playing for Graves from this spot. And then Master Yi like kind of uses alright. I can't think of anyone else that would use this Titanic well. Unless like really is trying like, I don't think you have the spot to fast 9 play Graves Graves Vex, but it is gold sub, so if you get enough gold in the next stage, maybe.
Very interested to see how he follows up his first from last game.
Yeah, I just think it's hard to go into the Master Yi line when you know there's other Master Yi players probably. Like, I don't think that comp is good enough to support 2 players anymore.
Ladder Slayer, this game will probably be looking to leverage his birthday reunion and what looks like a level 8 Nami board to get to 9 to fully cash out this birthday reunion. I personally am not super high on this augment, but in the hands of some of the top 8 players in North America, I imagine it'd be pretty interesting to see what he can cook up here.
Hey, if you're able to 100 streak, you know, for a while, I think it's pretty good. If you can't 100 streak, not a fan.
So with Setsuko losing these 6 rounds as well, has Setsuko won a round yet in this final lobby?
Yeah, that's true. He died on 4-2 last stage without winning a single fight. So when do we get our first win?
Unsure. Treasure Hunt on a roll.
I mean, surely we start winning now once we get our, like, once we cash out our first treasure.
Hopefully.
Playing the Primordian Challenger that we've seen, like, a little bit of, but not a whole lot. I feel like it's kind of fallen out of favor a bit, but I think people are trying to, I think some people are rediscovering this line.
Yeah,
I think there's still some optimization to be done on this line that people haven't fully figured out yet.
I think especially right now where the game feels really hard if you don't have position or something to really, I guess, without much sauce to your spot, it's kind of hard to play the game, so you have to kind of try to find something to play. Like Dish Soap last game, playing a failed win streak into Narm Printer, and then this game Setsuko trying to play some Jinx reroll off the treasure hunt. I'm not sure if this was what he wanted to try, but maybe with other people angling into this MF board, it was hard for him to try to outcompete them with treasure hunt.
Yeah, and it's gonna be hard for Setsuko to come back from, like, if it doesn't place well in this one, it feels like even though you're not in check, you're playing for first every game. Because you have to make up those points again, and you have to deny others check. So it's like one of those, you're in that spot where you're playing the same as everyone else that's in check, but you don't get the benefit of, if you win the tourney. You just get to delay it another game.
Yep. They're so sitting pretty comfortably on this setup. See what he decides to do later in the stage, whether he decides to play more like a level 7 type of MF board or that level 8 board around Kindred Duo carry. Might be the play,
Yeah.
especially with the Psionic emblem, but we'll have to see.
I feel like it has to be a Kindred Duo carry, because these items aren't Yi items, but, like, they're pretty good for Kindred. Because you can Marauder, Rageblade, Last Whisper it, and then the other items can go to Yi. Because there's definitely some players that are valuing Guard Breaker on Master Yi now more than they do Giant Slayer, and that's also why you'll see a lot of times you'll see Akali played over Fiora more often, because getting that crit and then playing the Guard Breaker alongside it gives so much more damage on the Yi than you would gain from Giant Slayer, and you don't have to play around like hoping you hit the Fiora too to be able to also itemize. And if you're playing Kindred Duo carry, then your items go there, and the Fiora is just kind of like homeless a bit without items. So it's like, well, I'll just play the Akali and get the free Nova proc and get the crit. So I think that's probably the angle we're looking here from Dish Soap's board. And then if we can't do
here,
I think that's actually really like one of the better ones you can see here for Dish Soap, because you're at 40 gold. You just lost, so you're not trying to win streak these next two. You just want to hit 8 fast and roll down to hit all those 4 costs. So I really like this play here. And then also switching this MF around the units that we hit, switching Conduit. We have the AP Psionic item, so it's like I think this gives so much value more in this spot right now.
we're against Setsuko. Hashed out one of his treasure hunts so far, and yeah.
Also, notably on Tetsugo's side, took the honor roll augment, so to be able to farm some of those more rolls when we're rolling for treasure hunt as well, so you can hit some of those upgrades a bit faster as we're rolling, and is going to need to hit a few. And notably, we did win 1 round, so we can't say we haven't won one yet. We've got one on the table.
Took us, I don't want to do that math, quite a few rounds, but we did win one. However, spot is still looking pretty concerning. We are only 1 off this Belveth, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, we also took the Evelyn boon too, so these last 2 rounds we've not been able to roll our shop. You can see we're sitting on 71 gold. I imagine next turn we're going to roll down, we're going to cash out our 16 gold from the treasure hunt to get it. And then immediately after on 4-1, we'll cash out the next treasure chest again and just be insanely strong on 4-1, I believe is the plan here.
There's a lot of work to do these turns.
Hey, if anyone can do it, it's Setsuko.
That's true. That's true. I might have not believed in the marksman graves, but I think I can convince myself to believe in this a little bit more.
I don't know that I fully believe in this one, but I do believe in it more than Marksman Graves.
That is fair. Okay.
Especially if we're gonna hit an MF2 here. Oh, what? Okay, so
He's
smart
waiting
note
for
here,
the-
he's not gonna buy it so that he can get the honor roll proc next turn.
Does that work on neutrals?
Yes. So we're just gonna chill, and then it's gonna upgrade. We'll get the free reroll next turn, and then we'll start rolling. We'll cash out both treasure chests. We'll probably upgrade everything on this board. We can see we're holding the. Oh, I was gonna say we're holding those to let this MF upgrade and then pick up, so that we get, instead of just gold, could be more champs.
Have to move pretty quick here. Just not want to lose yet another round, but that should stabilize him quite hard here. First treasure
We
chest,
see
Ox.
one treasure chest gone. We hit Belva
That's
3,
pretty good.
Jinx 3. We're instead opting to level here instead of finishing our roll, which I think also does make sense. I also want to know, we took out a 3 Primordian. We removed what's her name? Briar from able to, so like we lose a bit of the damage from Primordian, but we get a stronger board in getting this Akalian. We got the Rostin from the level to gain more stats. We have a lot there to give value for it. And then we'll see when he decides to roll down and finish out this treasure chest or not.
Yep.
Cambuli with a 2-star LeBlanc already. And looks like we're 1 off our Leona 3.
Yep. Pretty comfortable spot. He has a bit of work to do to come back into this game, but he has a very good foundation to do it so far. The double combat setup in this can be pretty nice.
Mhm.
Curious though, because at least before this patch, or not before this, like I believe this specific C patch where that's a really big find. Okay, never mind, we're back. I was about to say, this board might struggle to cap out, and if we're playing this from like a low HP spot and we can't like fully streak this stage, I'd be concerned what our prospects of capping out are, but that is certainly helpful.
Yeah, we'll see how we end up fully itemizing here. Interesting that like we decide to itemize the Acel 1 over the LeBlanc 2. And then we also, like, we don't even itemize the LeBlanc at all. We even
Yeah, I was about to
weight on
say,
the
we
LeBlanc.
itemize everything but the LeBlanc. I
Which
could see this,
I get-
especially if it's like an Econ Arbiter. I would assume this is probably a Leona print.
Yeah, it's the Leona print. I think it was on the 50 mana. But I think it's also, yeah, without having any attack speed on this LeBlanc, I think makes sense. It just like feels kind of wrong to have a LeBlanc 2 and be like, yeah, I'm taking the items off. It's not even like, oh, I chose to itemize something else to put somewhere. Like, we already had them there and we go, nope, Acel 1, better, move items. Blitz 1, better, move everything. And then we have our Leona 3, we have a solid tank here. It's just like one of those, like, as like somebody that's played TFT forever, it's like, oh, like, we want 2-star upgrade itemized, right? And it's just like, oh, the game's not in the spot right now where like it is better. Or is it? We sold Acel
Nope.
for
Hit the
Karma.
karma.
We're just changing what we hit every round. Still, we'll refuse to itemize LeBlanc, which is correct, but feels wrong.
Ladder's player on their way to level 9. His explosive growth, pretty healthy.
Yeah,
I
taking
assume-
that birthday reunion to get the explosive growth to get to level 9 to cash that out, and then play around like fully upgraded Nami board at that point. I imagine they've got to be close with the explosive growth speeding with the hit 9, but they are gonna sack like a few turns in HP to be able to get there, and that's where it can start to get a little bit scary as everyone else comes online.
But that's also why that 6 streak to start the game was so important for Ladder Slayer, and that really, that's probably gonna be the biggest part here in actually converting the spot for them.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's the biggest thing. If you're going to be able to play for that level 9, you have to win streak. You have to set up at minimum a 5 streak to start the game to be able to have all that HP and to have that early like boost in econ to be able to play for level 9. Otherwise, you're just not going to have the HP to sack stage 4, because to go from 8 to 9 with everyone else spiking, like, you're just not going to win fights in stage 4 unless you hit like the most natural like god chops in every single round.
Okay.
That is quite the units you want to see from the Evelyn boon there.
Doesn't even want to play the Arbiter anymore now that we have cashed out our Leona 3. That is beautiful timing here for Cambuli.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, that's exactly what you. Well, we get rid of the. We don't need the Arbiter anymore. We have Leona 3. Like, it's not doing anything for us. We've got a better Shepherd and Sona. We've already moved all our items. Like, we weren't playing it anyways. So.
In addition to the Sona pair, by the way, we paired Blitzcrank as well.
On the other side, we have CMB has a Shen too with our space group spat. So
Carry Shen.
it's one of those, like, if your Shen's ever gonna do damage, it would be here, but it's still like I've seen some Shens where that I expect to do damage and it just does not. But hey, it's looks like it's working out.
Where did we just cast?
Cast on the other side. That's one of those where if I'm CMB, I'm like, shit, I invested all this into you, I gave all these items, and you cast over there, these are now being removed. You lost your chance. Somebody else gets like, these are now ribbon items. I gave you a chance.
Cambuli notably, as I was about to comment on the fact that CMB was stuck on the Nami 1 here, I believe this is the correct itemization here, and in theory, the Shen should get everything low to reset the Nami bubbles and like get a little overkill damage there. It did not really look good in that instance, but
nope.
The hard part here is being stuck on this Nami 1 with all the other Nami players, and even other players like Cambuli recognizing they're vulnerable and holding the Namis to try to send them, to put more pressure on them, put more tax on their econ, or just straight up deny them and get them stuck here. Like CMB down to 1 life, this spot gets so scary without the Nami too.
Yeah, and Setsuko on the other side, we saw rolled down everything, got his treasure hunt, and then got Swordsmith to get even more items for a comp that is just like all carries. So that's like one of the best augments could get there too. Like, Setsuko actually looks in a very strong spot now too, to maybe not win out, because I don't know if this can beat like some of the capped boards, but it should do very, very well to secure a top 4.
This is such a rough bot for CMB too. You really don't want to take these. These don't make very high value items, but every time you roll at this low gold and still needing this Nami 2 is so taxing.
Yeah, and I think this makes a lot of sense here. Oh, we do have Shred. I was going to say it could be an Ionic. I couldn't see the Shred because the thing covered up Nami. Couldn't see the Void Staff. But yeah, as you said, you really don't want to roll because you want to be able to hit your Nami 2. But you just need some tank items.
Yeah, gonna have to hope to win this fight and then maybe stumble into it. Grab with gold's up. He has a chance.
Yeah, we get a little bit of gold there.
We find it.
We hit, but we don't have. Oh, there's
Cell replaces. I don't hate
nice.
it. Orn 2 should be close to as tanky as the Tom Kench 2.
Interesting we choose though to put 2 items on the Shen and not Adaptive the Orn to pick up a Radiant there. Yeah, because I'm not sure about this Shen itemization wanting over getting a Radiant on Orn.
I believe because it was he did not really want to roll Radiant Adaptive or Radiant Declaw, especially in a lot of these AD matchups. We see
that makes
here.
sense.
Ladder Slayer going down, by the way.
And Cambuli falling out as well.
Ladder Slayer was our birthday reunion player, right?
Yes. So it looks like either just made it to 9 and wasn't able to get there, but yeah, not even with like that early win streak and then not able to even getting the birthday present, you're just like so low, and it just seems like this is why I'm not a big fan of birthday reunion, because it feels like it just forces you to go into 9 when you're in a spot sometimes where like, well, I have to roll an 8, but if you roll an 8, now you're down an augment. So I feel like that's just a really tough spot to be in, because you could have the strongest opener and just not know later. Like, you could hit bad rolls.
And maybe that's something you can get away with in ladder, but in the TPC finals with all of these super strong boards, like even like some of these like lower cap boards or like these kind of scary spots like CNBs, we see like a lot of just strength on these boards regardless. Gonna go down to the Titanic what? It should be right. Okay, cool. Going down to a Titanic Master E here.
This is the second time we've seen like Master Yi just be really good at just securing these top 4 placements.
And then speaking of Master Yi, we have Dish Soap
It's
also on
2-8,
the
by the
side.
way. Do they both have group hug?
I don't remember if one did.
Remember we had the Titanic. Remember that.
I know this comp you tend to position as if you have group hug a lot of the time regardless. So not really sure. But I think what Dish Soap is suffering from here is just not having tank itemization. We have items on all these carries, but it feels like we don't have a strong enough on the front line. But we go up against Soju with the Radiant drone uplink. Like I said, not the best Gragas hero you want, but that is going to be a lot of damage. Like, especially as we're hitting these brawlers that, like, it's not going to do enough, but the drone uplink will then follow up with the damage, the secondary damage.
Yeah, also, despite the resistances, all the front line being clumped up around this Gragas just plays more into what K3 Soju wants in the spot. But honestly, I think if you're Dish Soap, that 5th is still fine. You're playing contested Master Yi, like, just take our 5th and get out.
Yeah, especially when you're in a contested line, and as Bubba, who does also have group hug, however has the silver version of it, so it's one where it's like you can sometimes sack a little bit of the positioning because it is lesser value, but Bubba, who has slightly better tank items in having a spirit, and I mean Morello is not really a tank one, but yeah, I feel like that's one where it's like mentioned where I'd rather have the sympathetic there on the tank because I think it actually does a lot for the Tahm Kench, but we're also out of removers, so we don't get that luxury.
Additionally,
Tahm Kench.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to make an item. It gives magic resistance. He attacks faster, which means he'll cast more. True. I do want to comment on this Master Yi, but I think something we should comment even more on is we're talking about this Jinx board actually being like pretty good, especially when you pointed out all these items for all these carries means this board just gets blown up, and I don't think Morellonomicon, Kraken, Tahm Kench can really survive the force of all of those carries with all those items. Marcel putting together. Oh wait, this is right up your alley.
Yeah, this is definitely. We haven't seen much of Marcel just quietly playing the Medallion Lulu off to the side. I'm curious if we right-click on Lulu and hover her ability, see how much gold this Lulu is actually farmed. 32 gold, can't complain. That is definitely like the huge benefit to Medallion Lulu is it farms you all this gold, lets you actually hit the 3-star upgrades on all these other units to get the damage amp. Like, it just plays so well together. And this Jax unit being way less contested, Setsuko, who you see a lot of the times, this Jinx board plays around Jax, opting to not play it and just play a bunch of carries. And you see there the Lulu cash out gets so much gold.
I just want to talk about the fact that Jax low-key abandoned our Lulu, but multiple of these melee carries on their way to come up to this Lulu just casts perfectly in time and shoots them out of the air.
It's raining coins, the one ability name that I know.
I know before we were talking about this after our very unfortunate 4v4 incident last night, about this Lulu line, it just doesn't really have the front line really hold up in a lot of cases. This is, I think, as good of a tanky setup you're going to get from a Jax 3 with this Lulu comp.
Yeah, I think also having the second wind adds so much value because after like the nerfs that Jax has hit, like sometimes feels like can fall over to some of these other comps, but getting that second wind kind of like offsets all those nerfs that it had before to like be able to hold out long enough for this Lulu, and the Milio 3 that has full damage items as well, able to just take down everything, has a huge amount of damage amp. So I feel like that's definitely one of the lines you want. All of these comps, these boards, all very strong and not boards that you typically see winning, but everyone's hit. We have the Gragas hero with subpar psionic item. We have this Challenger Jinx board without like a Jax, without like real frontline. We have so many items that just every carry is itemized that we can just like, we can tear down through these boards. Like we can see this Gragas is just gonna melt before it even has the chance to cast a second time. And what on that board's gonna kill anything when we just insta kill your main carry?
By the way, maybe it did make a fight dip, but a very heads up positioning play there by Setsuko, dragging the Rost one extra slot over. That way the Gragas AoE doesn't hit the rest of like the more vulnerable melee carries, because that's something you're really scared about, and what we saw happen to Dish Soap in his matchup against the Gragas Hero augment that your melee carries and all your other like less HP tanks just get one shot, and then after that the second Gragas catch can just blow it up. But Setsuko, with a lot better focus fire in that matchup, able to just one shot with, as you said, all of these AD items on all these upgraded carries, just steamrolling that board.
Yeah, I think that is an amazing call out there for those that don't know how to position against this Gragas hero. You kind of put one unit right in the middle and move everyone off to the side. So Gragas wastes all his damage on the first unit and then has to go pick a side to waste damage over there and then come back. So excellent positioning from Setsuko. We see as it comes into this Lulu board, which is a bit stronger though, have to gets through the jacks, but then also has to take the time to get to the back. But this Lulu has just as much damage from the middle as well. Like, this fight is pretty close. But I think just being able to have all of that damage on both of your carries from Marcel P is just enough to be able to hold out long enough to kill all of these units, and not having a main tank on Setsuko's board to be able to eat all that damage.
K3 Soju definitely seems like he won his last fight, I believe, against Ghost. Still has some room to cap this board if you can hit the Nami 2 here. Or not the Nami, the Sona 2. But other than that, I'm not sure just how it matches up into the rest of these boards.
Yeah, we did see
backline
Soju
damage pouring into this.
Soju hit the Master Yi 2 right before that last Ghost fight instead of this one. We can see Soju trying to position this Gragas round to be able to position into these boards as they're trying to counter it too. It's going to do a bunch of damage into this Jax. And like, it's the only units it's hitting, but once the Jax falls, everything else you can take down pretty quickly. But it is still
the second wind proc.
The second wind comes in, and it's just gonna, this Gragas is gonna cast again, and it's not enough because it healed up. And I think it's just not enough. This Lulu and Milio's gonna knock. I think he's alive 1 HP. Yeah, one HP perfect. So you still get one more chance to see if you can pull out a second, but I don't think anyone's beating Marcel. So it might come down to Soju versus Setsuko.
Yep. And I mean, this lobby, compared to what we've been seeing all tournament, something I think really important to shout out. Yes, this meta is dominated by these like standard Vex Fast 9s, these like Sona Fast 9s, these Space Group boards converting these Zaya boards, but in the right spot, these players are able to recognize their line. And I remember we were even kind of like, I was feeling a little bit suspicious about the Gragas hero augment take, but K3 Soju recognizing his spot, able to pull out a top 3 here, despite some of the like crazy spots these Space Group +1s, these Titanic Master used.
Yeah, we have our battle for second place here. Whoever wins this fight is in second. But it's just not a this is just such a bad matchup for the Gragas hero, because it's just never going to be able to cast twice into these challengers that are just going to kill it before it ever has a chance. So I think that's a great third for Soju, playing Gragas hero without one of the good items. So able to like pull that out. And like I said, I don't know that we're gonna see a top 4 like this in our other lobbies, because like I said, all the comps that we said to watch out for that you mentioned, our Fast 9s, our Samira Orange, just our Space Grooves, like in general, none of those are here. I would not have expected any of these 3 comps to be like fighting for first, and we have 3 of them doing it in this lobby.
Yep. Coming on to the final fight here, I'm not sure what Setsuko can do into this board. Swapping the Warmogs, by the way, for this Heartsteel, giving it a little extra durability as it sits here and takes the brunt of damage. Kind of just an anti-burst itemization choice here. It doesn't make it to the second wind proc. Yes, it does. And I think with that,
I think Marcel is going to close it out here. That is enough damage. He'll take it down. Great positioning, great itemization there to be able to take it down. I think fantastic board from Setsuko as well. Like, you sometimes see this challenger board, but did not like expect it to do this well, especially without having a main tank, just being able to go full damage and to pull out the second. And then also, just like I said, having the Lulu in first place, hitting everything on Marcel P's board in the medallion, getting all that extra gold. That Lulu probably farmed like 60 gold by the end of the game, hitting all of our 3 stars, playing around this Jax with this comp that like people have kind of stopped playing and kind of like forgot about a bit because like, well, if you're playing this, what do you do when you fight Ornn 3? Like, these units can't kill Ornn. Well, nobody here hit the Ornn 3, so we're able to play it and able to win out. So well played by, I think, everyone in our, especially from our top 3. And especially for Setsuko to come back after the losing up 4-2, going 8th, to mentally reset and to be able to come back and pull out a second there with Challenger. Well played.
That's very important. I think we also need to talk about just kind of how interesting it was that this lobby specifically panned out like that. Because it seemed like all the other 4 players kind of cannibalized each other, right? The Yi players were kind of stepping on each other. All the Space Group players on top of each other. Our Fast 9 birthday reunion was kind of relying on that Lulu 2 duo carry to kind of cap out. But when everyone just tries to converge on these lines, it really lets some of these other rerolls that are trying to play for a strong stage 3, stage 4 really punish these players for low rolling as hard as they do. And even these boards can also find a way to cap out in the end game, right? Like Marcel P finding a probably the tankiest way with those tiers of augments to really put a front line in front of this Lulu. Let her cast infinite, let her farm all that gold that you can reinvest into your board, get all those star levels, get the medallion, the extra medallion damage in, but it all snowballs beautifully there. And also, like you said before, the Setsuko Swordsmith, this time it's paying off so much better than the Marksman Engraves, Sterix, BT, but
Yep, we got actual items that we can use for our carries, which a lot easier this time when you have 6 carries that can all use swords. But yeah, I'm happy to have seen all 3 of these comps in the top 3 because, like I said, not comps I expected. I'm always happy to see Lulu. I've been a Lulu enjoyer this entire set, one of my favorite units. But also just like I love these challenger comps when they're not like the pure meta when everyone's not playing. It's like really refreshing to see like a challenger comp come through and just tear through boards like very quickly. Not this like very slow front to back, let's kill through tanks like slowly. I have my giant tank, you have yours. Instead it's like no, full damage, full aggression, take them down. And then Gragas hero, one of my favorite hero augments. Just watching him go around, blow everything up. So like 3 great comps, really excited to see. So I think our final lobby is definitely performing today and giving this a good show.
yeah, I'd say that game alone has been a nice little refresher for me. I was very concerned about this being kind of an orange slop fest, but really cool to see how we navigate these more niche lines, these lesser played lines, and I believe our lobby is still very close. I believe Barbara, who should be in the lead after that, with the first and the top 4 there, has a chance with the top 2 here to make it into checkmate. As well as I think K3 Soju also, I believe he went 3rd in the first game as well, right? Just some 2 humble top 3s.
Yes. So yeah, back-to-back 3rd, which would put him at 12 points. So we take first, that puts you in check. You need 20. I think we're working on pulling up scores shortly, so we can see like who's in potential to get into check in this next game, because I think that's what's important. Like how many players do we have that are able to do it? That game 4 that have to, but I wouldn't expect in game 4 to have more than like 1 or 2 players to actually be in check. And then that's one of those where like the entire lobby is going to be licking up. As we see, we can pull up scores right now. Brotherhood with 13. And Soju with 12, Marcel P with 12. So we have 3 players that help potential. If Soju or Marcel P take it first, they're in check. Who just needs a second to be able to put in check. Everyone else still playing catch up. So we'll see if any of those can pull it out. If none of those if Soju or Marcel P don't get in top 2 or take it first, who doesn't take a second, we're guaranteed at minimum 5 games because we still need the 4th to get into check and to go. We're probably hitting that regardless because if only one of them's in check, everyone griefs. So we'll see how it shakes out.
I think an important thing here for these players to probably keep in mind as well. Just keep playing the same game you're playing, right? Because if you try to play for this top 2 and you eat a 7th, you're suddenly at maybe in like a K3 Soju spot or a Marcel P at 12 points. You'd be sitting at 14. You would then need another top 3 to end up making it into check. So the name of the game is still just get points up on the board. You don't have to be the first to make it to check, right? It's about actually making it there and then winning. So just getting the check doesn't win you the game. So just focus on getting these points right now, setting yourself in a good position. As well as one other player I wanted to call out, Cambuli, sitting at 4 points right now. Pretty much everyone's sitting in, yeah, either that 13-12 range or that 8-7 range. Cambuli, the lone one at the bottom right now. Gonna need to try to find a few really good placements in a row here to still have a chance in this tournament.
Yeah, and as we jump right into our third game, we're gonna have yet again gold subscription. So all of these boards have that extra gold. And maybe this actually is like one of those where like you are looking to play more of that 3-cost reroll instead of like these stronger cap boards. Because we saw last game, like having that extra gold to hit your reroll units faster. Like we saw all of our top boards. We had the Lulu, the Challengers, the Gragas Hero. Like these are all reroll comps when people don't think it's a reroll meta. But getting that extra gold early to be able to hit those units to stay above tempo, I think is huge. So I'm curious if we'll see something like that again in this game, or if everyone just reverts back to like more of like, as you say, the orange slop.
Yeah, it's be interesting to see, because definitely, especially for like Setsuko or something with the treasure hunt, it kind of dictated that spot to be some sort of reroll. So we will see.
And then as we get in, we'll see, have we had prismatics today? We get yet another gold. I can't remember if we've had prismatic augments. I feel like we've definitely been lower value econ
Definitely not
traits today.
on 2-1. Rick's Legion of Threes. This.
Oh,
Wow.
Challenger. That is one of the best ones I think you can get from Legion of 3, because the Challenger comp uses all 3 costs for the most part. And you get the Challenger spat, which I think the Challenger comps a lot of the times like is kind of a 4 Challenger check. Unfortunately, we don't exactly have the best items for it. No swords, no bows, but we have potential.
Could also, with this rod, be looking at some sort of Diana angle. Checks the Arbiter, doesn't really like what they see there, so.
And for our Stargazer, we have Boar here, which I think is one of the other ones that people really like Xayah on. So we might see a Xayah game again. Whereas like last game, we did not see Xayah. Oh, we have
K3 Soju with backline
spots.
blueprint.
Challenger v Challenger spat.
Something to note here is K3 Soju opting to play into this board here, farm a little bit of extra gold during the early game. That's why, with the upgraded frontline, opts into being level 4, knowing that they can just keep winning, they'll make the money back. Interesting to see what the line selection is here for both of our Challenger spat players.
And we have from here we have Dish Soap. I always forget the name of this augment. The one plus
late game scaling.
Late game scaling, yes. I always want to say the early game one because the icons are very different, but I'm like, these are the exact opposite. And then we also had Setsuko on the other side who had Birthday Reunion. So we have 2 Fast 9 players here. As like some of our, so we have 2 Challenger spats. We have 2 like people that are angling towards Fast. That is something where that works really well with your Birthday Reunion. Gwen is like one of the best like early game carries in my opinion. I think this unit is insanely strong. Being able to get the 2-star, you can throw just like in extra space grooves and getting so much value. I personally will play double Gwen in a lot of boards early just for like all the extra stats. And I think this unit is very hard to kill early and does a great job of killing other units. So this is definitely one of the best ones you want to see from Birthday Reunion to be able to push you to the win streak to get to level 9.
Yep. We'll see if this game for Setsuko goes better than it did for Ladder Slayer last game.
I think Gwen 2, you're a bit happier to get. And then especially, is this our Arbiter? Was this a Leona print, I'm assuming, for the extra econ?
Yeah, I think I did see that Leona appear out of nowhere.
Every 4 seconds for when. Yeah, and so this is a board that like, pretty strong frontline. Gwen can kill units very well, but can take a bit of time. So you'll be able to stack that up and probably guarantee a Leona every single round. So yeah, I think this is an incredible spot for Setsuko when, like I said, Birthday Reunion scares me. So this is the good spot for it.
Calculator for loss from Marcel P holding onto an Ornn.
Yeah, I think there's I think we already know what is looking to be on Marcel's board. Calculated loss into Ornn sounds very, very strong, especially if you're uncontested. if you're able to like grief if anyone's Anima. I don't think anyone's playing Anima though, because looking at the HPs, I would have expected like somebody else to be full open. So I don't think we have Anima players this time. So a little less value from calculated loss that you don't get to grief somebody. Oh, and Thresh Aesol, two of the more exciting gods.
Yeah.
Aesol with all of his quests to get like you can get like extra emblems that we see a lot of people taking here. Thresh, who is my favorite.
Six
More
people,
Gamba.
or 5
Give me
people
Gamba
took the
in my Gamba.
was that 4? No, 5 people took the great quest. That should be really helpful, by the way.
Yeah, so we'll have to check in back around like stage. I think most people hit it towards like the end of stage 3. We'll get their emblem, so we'll have to see what most people get from Aesol. But that'll take a bit. Whereas I'm curious if we go around and if we, that is a crazy space group spot to start. Heavy as the crown. I'm curious if we can look at, so all the people got Thresh, if we hover the Thresh augment on the right to see what they got. So Golden Remover, pretty good. Turns all your actual removers into a Reforger, so you can hit your best items a little bit better, and you're able to move your items around a lot more, which is, especially when you have this Heavy as the Crown, being able to move around to your carries a lot. It's pretty nice. We have on the other side, Ladder Slayer, I want to call it, has 2 tanky. We see holding a Samira, so there's potentially 3 Samira players in this lobby. I don't expect CMB to stay on it though. I'm curious if CMB plays towards like the Xayah though. Having Boar, you could play heavy as the Crown, Rageblade, which I know is not BIS for her, but you can gain, like, with Heavy as the Crown, you don't necessarily need the Krakens because you gain all the AD. Like, it's like a stronger Kraken. So you could play Rageblade, Red Buff, Crown on like the Xayah on this board. So like, I think that's a potential out of not trying to contest all the other Space Group players, which I think also is probably the play when you have Rageblade, because I don't know if that's like the best one you want for Samira. It's definitely serviceable, but yeah, I'm just curious to see where this line ends up going. Heavy as the Crown is such a like fun augment to play around.
Yep. Took Setsuko, I'm assuming, probably lost to Soju in their last round, Soju being the other super strong streaker this stage. I don't think Setsuko is winning this one either.
Yeah, it looks like we got rid of Gwen to farm up more Arbiters to be able to gain 2 Leonas a turn, potentially. Also finding like an early Tom Kench to be able to get a little bit of extra econ from that as well.
Marcel at 68 HP, by the way. I understand it's calculated loss, but
yeah, it's a bit lower than
low.
Just...
Finds Anima.
Oh, we found Anima, so we sold our Ornn.
That makes sense. I was going to say,
-1 Samira player.
With all these people angling into that, it's kind of scary to take that from a calc loss position, because yes, you have more resources, but in the event you miss or you don't hit hard enough, you're at such low HP that gets kind of scary. But finding the Anima is probably the best thing you could ask for here.
Yeah, especially when nobody else is, because like I said, one value you get from calculated loss, you can grief other Anima players, because you can full open against them and grief them. Well, what if you're the only Anima player? Nobody can grief you now, so now you're good. You get both, calculated loss and Anima. And no griefers. So yeah, and as like I mentioned, Marcel, being at 12 points, wants to hit that first place, like is playing as if it's check, because you want to hit that first place to put yourself as like the sole person in check in the next game.
He has so much money, by the way.
80 gold, we have 4 extra rerolls.
What was the Thresh boon? Because it could have low-key been like the Pact or whatever. Just 7
gold and Reforger. Makes sense. That's
7 gold is a lot of gold.
94 gold, 4 rerolls. And I'm curious if somebody else was trying to grief it, because we see that we like full cell, not even trying to like kill a single unit, save HP.
It'd probably be Dish Soap, the other streaker that had like a chance to playing the late game scaling, but yeah.
Considering haven't lost yet though, I don't think anyone did open enough to lose, because like if Dish Soap had opened, would have lost fight much quicker. So
too.
On to one.
Oh, prismatic.
Okay, our first prismatic of the day. Wait,
Golden
keep the
Gamba.
golden gamble.
And
We hit.
we won our Gamba.
Nice.
Something that I will never do. Cannot
Yeah.
win Golden Gamba to save my life.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak about this golden gamble.
I know how much you love this augment and how great it's been for 4v4.
Yeah.
But
Um,
anyways, I'm curious to see where we actually use this Radiant on. If we try and get like a tank item from it, or if we're playing towards. I'm not fully sure what we're trying to play from this board when we have Last Whisper Gunblade. And we're still like kind of open to anything. Because this board is still like. Yeah, this board has so many directions it can go because none of these units here are typically like what you want to see from a late game. We're holding on to this Radiant Lucky chest, so I feel like it's also one of those where Camberley might also be a little confused as to like what his best angle is. We have a dequal on our bench as well.
I believe
So-
Ravu cashed out the trade quest already, and it's a Marauder emblem with a Challenger emblem, by the way.
That is pretty good. That definitely is something you could then angle towards the the Kindred Yi board as well, because you could always Challenger the Yi if you want. You can gain the Kindred. Marauder is like fantastic user of that Marauder spot. So we'll see if it ends up going that way. If
My
we just stay
counterpoint is we
towards
are
Challenger.
wise spending, so
Oh,
this could also be a way to bully the other Challenger player, like with Soju, off of even considering this MF line.
Oh, and as we see more of our cash outs, Setsuko also cashing out a Dark Star spot while
Hedge
having
fund, by the way.
Hedge fund, birthday reunion, and we have a Karma already with our Dark Star, so I feel like this is definitely going to be like an Asol board, Dark Star Asol, and then a bunch of Vanguards. I imagine that's the angle we're going here, having this 3-star Leona on the board as well.
Yep. I believe Soju has been has pivoted off that Challenger emblem. He's now sitting on a Space Groove Timebreaker.
Yeah, I feel like, got bullied off of the Challenger line. I don't know which one we reforged and which one came from Asol, but we have Timebreaker Space Group, which pretty good for a Nami Riven board.
Especially as well, this Ornn will end up holding 2 Radiants with the Radiant Spirit Visage from Golden Gamble.
Yeah, if 1 Radiant Ornn wasn't enough, how about 2? Maybe we can beat 3 Leona Force. And as we see a lot more people still sticking with Asol, we do see some more Thresh loot coming through as well. So like I said, I think these are 2 of more of the exciting gods. I mean,
These are definitely my
Gamba,
favorites.
always fun. It's just like one of those where you get both in the same game and you're like, now you have to make me choose. It's not, I have Thresh versus Soraka or something, or Thresh Kale, like, where it's like, yes, I'll take the Gamba every time. It's like, there's some on both sides.
Yeah, but then you get to choose, and it's not skipping over Blessing of Prosperity instantly.
You telling me you don't love Blessing of Prosperity or Soraka's Embrace? These aren't fun augments or fun boons?
Yeah, I think I'd rather just have 1 gold, I'm gonna be honest.
You could take the Evelyn one, the final whatever that we saw, gain 3 gold.
I think I actually would. That is yep, we see the double Radiant Ornn right now.
Yeah, we were forcing it by putting the Timebreaker spat on to force the other Radiant, and yeah, how do you kill this unit? It's like HP has barely been touched, and as it gets lower HP, it's gonna gain even more from the Spirit anyway, so it's not even reached its full healing. Like, what do? You can't kill anything on this board because you can't kill the one singular 1-star Ornn.
By the way, we're
Three-cost Ornn.
talking about Marcel's win share this game. It's tiny as tiny off our 3-2 here. I'll imagine we skip this, right? Oh,
Yeah,
we are
going for the full win out. We're almost level 8. We're going to be pre-level to 8 with 13 free rerolls. And this is enough to cash out 400, right, when we lose? If we hover the Anima cash out, it'll say for sure. I don't remember. Okay, 70, so we need to lose 2 more.
Which I think you can, right? You'll be at 1 life, but you definitely can.
Actually, you can lose this one, and then you can win the next one, and you'll be good. So, like, you can roll down the next turn. not need to, like, you're able to stay, and whether you win or lose the next fight, you have enough HP for it, unless like, this is a pretty bad loss.
Yeah, we'll see Marcel P doing this roll down this turn then, most likely. At least hitting something to kill some units at the very least.
Yeah, you definitely want to upgrade your board enough to win, because you need to save this HP. Because if you lose, you need a 3-unit loss at best, so you have to
That's
upgrade.
pretty helpful.
Ramas 2, pretty good start. A Fiora
Ooh.
that we can put in over one of these Anima units to keep our Anima in for a round while having an actual unit, instead of like this Briar. We hit the Corki pair, we have Mighty Mech, like, we're hitting the upgrades we need. We would like to see a Corki 2 come through. We haven't even dipped into using our actual gold for rerolls. We still have 8 left.
Find
only thing is, like,
another unit for this board.
Our items are not the best. Hopefully we get bailed out by some of these anvils. There's our Last Whisper.
That's huge.
There's Corki 2, a Riven. Like, we're starting to hit everything here. Like, I imagine they'll... I don't know if there's any of these boards that can end up beating this, as we've hit every single upgrade just about.
It should be
We just gotta
enough,
make sure
but I
we
wouldn't be
position correctly.
surprised for a bit more rolling just to be safe. But yeah, we do stop here.
We already fought the double Radiant Orin, so we can't fight that. So I think we're looking good.
Oh.
I probably would like to see one more item slammed on this Promise. Oh, not double Radiant, but it is still an Orin. It's the 2 tanky Orin.
Yep.
We do slam one
this.
more. We slam the Protectors. Surprisingly, we don't put on the extra mech just for the extra, because this Ramus is dying faster than we would expect.
Good news
like I
is
said,
we
have
definitely live
Orin
this.
on the other side.
You're not gonna win. But
No,
we're
we don't.
tiniest.
We're dead.
But no, we live.
Oh, we healed back up from Tiny Titans. My
Yeah.
bad. I didn't notice that we gained the Tiny Titans from the creep round as well. So
No,
just
it's at the start of combat, I think.
I think it gained it at the start of it too, because we're at 13 before we were at. Oh no, you're right. We were at 12 before. You're right.
See
We end with a
what
silver.
he takes here.
We do get Find Your Center potentially for this Ramus. Twin Guardian's probably better though. Even more tankiness. I think this Twin Guardian's one of the best. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. We get our crossbow item though. What is it? Battle Bunny crossbow. Pretty good. We get a Jinx 3. Not
Honestly,
like
I'm a fan of just
but-
playing it as just a +1 on this board.
Yeah, I feel like it's one where it's like you want to find a way to slot in the challenger though. Because I do think this crossbow is.
There is a
better
Graves on our
Corki
bench.
Weaver.
Or not our
Marksman
bench, our
Graves.
shop. We could try to marksman bait Graves. We're doing
yep.
it. We're doing
doing
it.
it.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
It's one of the better. I mean, we have Rageblade, we have the crossbow.
We have
We'll
half
see
of
if we
IE.
actually pick. We have to win though to be able to see if we pick the marksman.
I mean,
Will we see a second marksman Graves today in our final lobby?
A second marksman Graves. Like 4-2 would be disturbing.
I am so curious to see which one we pick.
It must be, right? There's no other reason you would play it on this board.
I like this Riven and Ramesh just spinning around.
Yeah.
Do we get it? What do we
Let's
pick?
see real quick. Come on, you know you want to do it. No, we're reforging.
Oh, we were forging? Oh, we
Oh.
reforged our Rageblade.
That's still marksman though. I think. Like
Is
you can
it?
still be marksman. You just maybe don't want it's marksman. We did it.
No, it's the power one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because the marksman has
Oh,
extra.
because you want to scale it off the crit, maybe with the Battle Bunny crossbow anyway.
I think we're just like we're gonna slam Shojin, I think is why, and then
Man.
I think the crossbow is just gonna stay on this Corki because
Yeah.
the Fate Weaver value, like you get more value from the crit, because you just need it. I think this Graves isn't gonna have crit for a while. It doesn't have the innate crit that Fate Weavers have, so I'm not fully sure on how the interaction works with the Corki cast with the crossbow. So I'd have to go look up stats to see how good it is on that unit. I mean, it probably is one of the better ones, but This is also one of the ASOL quests that I like more too. Like, please, these are two of the fun gods. We'll see what everyone ends up picking, and then we get to see all the threshes come in soon.
Yeah, this is really good, especially for these people that are still trying to roll to hit their board, or if you're someone like Brababa who is going to be rolling the entire game anyway. Finding
These
gods
are
like
all,
this is really
seeing these
helpful.
power frame augments, I don't think I've ever clicked it, so it's like seeing these, I'm like, I don't know what these ones do. So I feel like this is one where it's like every time I'm like, I don't know what we upgraded. Coolant. Okay, so I think from what I remember, what you want to do with this power frame, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's okay, we just don't play the Graves. I think that's a solid choice too.
Oh, okay.
I was
this
gonna
is
say,
why...
I think you just keep doing the mana reduction on Graves, so it gets him down to like 10 mana, and he just auto cast, auto cast, auto cast. So that takes a while to get to. It costs gold to do all that. We hit a Shen 2.
I mean,
last
yeah,
I looked
it's
at Shen
definitely
items,
the correct play.
Shen
It's a
items,
very good read
so-
here not to get baited by the Graves.
And I was excited to see something that's not Assault Grave.
But that's
We
why...
went from Marksman to Power, but he didn't want to pull a Setsuko and die in stage 4 with Graves.
That's
so
why
understandable.
Marcel P is playing right now for Czech, and we are sitting here watching.
I don't know if it'll be quite strong enough to win out. Crossbow's like, I don't know, it's so good. Like, it's definitely got win out potential, but
we
especially when you
looking to
got
play
people
Vex
over
here?
here with an Ornn one. I feel like it has to be, because we're not playing Zaya, because we're not holding any of the Boar units.
Our items
Like,
are
I don't know who
terrible.
else wants this. Yeah, so I feel like it has to be. I like the Edge of Night on our Heavy is the Crown to keep it alive in case something does happen. Because I feel like generally you want, with Heavy as the Crown, you want either a Gunblade or an Edge of Night to make sure you don't get picked off somehow. Soju on the other side does have the Blitzcrank this time that missed the last time we played Space Groove. And has the Space Groove on Ribbon, so I think looking pretty strong over there. Definitely going to be able to take down this Ornn 1 when you have double Radiant Ornn. As we just all gather around our last Heavy as the Crown, wait for the Edge of Night proc to wear off.
Is that a Jin 2?
That is indeed a Jin 2. With our 2 tanky, which I think with how many people are playing Ornn, to be able to hit these 6 Ornns is pretty good. We're 2 off Samira as well. So, but that doesn't even matter when we've got a Jin 2 here.
One of our, much gold here too.
This is one of our, what I see in my games, Golden Gamba, or not hitting the Radiance. We could have had 2 double Radiant Ornns in this hobby. But we end up taking Crack, and I wonder where, I guess we move the Morellos. Because
I would assume so.
I don't, or we just start playing for the second Samira items.
Move Morello as we do our roll down here. One more.
We get our 5 gold from gold subscription, get a little bit more. We're all 2 off Ornn, 1 off Samira. Oh, that feels bad to roll all that. And oh, we're 1 off both.
Wow.
That is definitely a feels bad, man. However, this board is so strong regardless, you're probably still fine.
It's another Jin 2, by the way. How? What?
This is why they're the pros and we're not. They're just able to pull out Jin 2s. Where did Ladder Slayer even get this? He's level 7. How did he get a Jin 2?
Oh no, and that is just a really strong Radiant IE Jin. This soap dies on 17 health, by the way. We didn't see it. Not sure.
Oh, we hit our Samira.
Played. It might have been Marcel, honestly.
Oh, do you sell Samira? I was gonna say you sell Samira, right?
Yeah,
because
that's a good call.
You can't play it till you level. And you probably want to play a Bastion on your next level anyways. The 2 tanky value just comes from getting, like, it's just tank stats. However, with Samira, like, a lot of times you will play double Samira because, like, they proc each other. When one knocks up, they proc up the other's knock-up damage, and they all proc up it. So it, like, works even though it's tanky stats.
We made it to, we teleported to Vex 2, it feels like.
Yeah, there's a lot of sus things going on in here. How is everyone hitting 2-star legendaries off? I don't know. This is why I'll never be pro.
we saw this spot on like 4 or 5. It did not look like that much gold, but
Doesn't matter. Orn 3.
yeah. Without a duo carry, even with heavy as the crown, this Vex, I mean, with an Edge of Might as well, right? There's just not that much damage on this Vex. It's gonna be hard to kind of chew through this
Yeah,
double
I'm curious-
gargoyles on.
If we look through the people towards the bottom to see if any of these people, like if Brabrahu or CMB are able, like, strong enough to be able to make it
I'd say
through, or if, like,
who was really hoping for a good placement here.
yeah, I think it's gonna be one of those where it's like, I don't think they can match up into these players that are streaking though. Like, I don't think anyone can beat Ladder Slayer at the moment. Cambule and
Mhm.
Marcel P both streaking very strong. So
And yeah, like this K3 Soju board, like even the people with higher HP are kind of just waiting to rotate into these super strong boards. Like this Riven 1 7 space group just will not have the damage for this.
yeah, I just don't know, like at this point, what is it that like can even kill this Ornn?
Who
Battle Bunny
falls?
crossbow?
Maybe.
Like, because maybe you get, it'll hit some of the stuff on the backline to like maybe kill like the Samira while you're hitting Ornn. Like if you get the right angle. And then afterwards you can kill the Ornn. But I feel like that's what's hard about is like you have to find a way to get past Ornn to kill the carries. Because if it's just Ornn alive, you can take it down because it's not going to do the damage.
K3 Soju is approaching the cap now though. For this board, I just want to call that out. Surely
And I
Ruby-
imagine we're gonna move Timebreaker for this
Timebreaker,
Warlock
yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, these items are looking really good on this Ornn.
We just gotta get them in time before it
Yep.
creates one. Okay, so we're good. We didn't mess that one up, and now we probably just take a third Samira item. And then all these boards are very, very strong. Like we have the
Yeah.
Crown Vex 2 on the other side, but we have double Radiant Ornn. We have our Samira upgraded. We have Nami upgraded items. Like, see, it's one of those where,
Wow.
okay, the Vex is able to skip the Ornn, and that's what
Wait.
you need to be able to win this.
I don't think
But-
Ornn can win it with the super statted Vex.
It was looking a little bit scary there because the Vex doesn't have healing, but like maybe if it could cast, if that's an Ornn 3, Ornn wins for sure.
Very
But-
quietly, because he has been dipping in the standings. Cambule has had an excellent bounce back game. I mentioned before that he was sitting at 4 points. Really needed to make some kind of a comeback this game with the Jin 2-on-8 with the Radiant IE. This is very good and has feel pretty good. Should probably be sitting at around like 10 and 11 points after all is said and done. The nice thing for him is that Marcel will have to rotate into these other super cap players and tax lives like we saw with Soju here.
Yeah, and also we have a Graves here on this board, and not Marksman or Power. We have Tank Graves, so this was one of the only.
That is
good
one of
Graves.
the upgrade paths for the Assault Graves, right? Where you just get super tanky stats.
Yeah, when you don't have like actual like items for the Graves and you want to play it, you just full tank everything. Oh, the Ornn 3
Oh.
actually going down to the Vex.
I guess now that we've hit like a pretty strong Sona 2, Blitzcrank 2 as well. Of course, like slowly but surely just accumulating more and more value from our thresholds.
And so, as we
DMD is
mentioned before,
starting to come
the
online.
only two players alive that can get into check are Soju and Marcel if either one wins. I don't think Soju's going to be able to do it. We'll have to see if the Marcel board can, like, how it matches up into this Vex board, because I think these are definitely our two top contenders. So, if Battle Bunny Crossbow is stronger, on Corki is stronger than this Vex, then we'll have one player in check. If not, we're 100% going to game 5 because we will not have anyone in check next lobby, and probably in game 5 we'll probably skip to 4 people in check.
Just looking for a Bard 2 here for just another carry on our board. Interesting to see how if he matches up to Marcel, whether or not he can win. Cambule just trying to find any
I'm
Wing
really
Guardian.
curious if we can
Holy.
hover these Graves upgrades, because like I said, you don't see this very often. Yeah, it's full tank. We have emergency shielding, we have the power frame, sheer mass, more HP. Shockwave, bunch of damage right at the start and stun. We have the heavy plating, just a bunch of tank stuff. I don't think I've actually seen like these full.
But this
tank
Tom Kench
stats
is still really
before.
healthy.
And okay, maybe it's not the Vex or Soju that's gonna win. Maybe it's the tank Graves.
I'd be really down for that. This is really cool tech to see.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of it where it's like you pick like half damage, half tank. I
Going
don't
for the
think
back
I've
door
ever
here. Wait,
seen
he
the
has
full...
so much gold.
We have 6 Ramas, 5 Corkis. Like, we have an Elder Dragon on him.
We did end up actually playing a Graves on this board. Oh, wait, this is just the... No, we did play Graves. It was the
Yeah,
caster
this is
Graves.
the Power Caster Graves has made a comeback. So
Hmm.
we sold it, and then we came back with a few of our upgrades. We have Power Graves versus Tank Graves. But we say that it's really just this Corki though. This Battle Bunny crossbow just being like,
Wow.
I don't know what the stats on that. It's just such a high win out angle. And as you see, we're on the Jin.
don't
We
think
take down
Cam really
Jin.
wins either.
Our last living unit being that Tank Graves dies to 1 HP. Soju out. And so it does come down to Marcel and the Fast 9 Vex. The heavy is the crown. So if Marcel wins this, he is in check. Otherwise, we just have everyone fighting for that in the next game. 2 off Ramis. 2 off Corki. Do we sell either one? Okay, we
One
decide to
more?
go for the Corki. One more. We sell Elder
Start
Dragon for
selling,
0.
replacing.
I don't know if it's like... Maybe things can win without it. I feel like these fights are pretty close, but...
Yeah. I mean, this Graves is just like still scaling. Probably got another upgrade since the last time they played.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
some
it's
better
down
TG
to...
rolls across both boards.
This Graves is definitely one auto cast from the upgrade, so maybe he thinks it's enough. Like, this fight is very close. And now the tank is dead, so it's no longer close. But, maybe...
Oh, it's gonna be the Edge of Night, maybe.
Oh, the
Wow.
Vex wins. So, nobody in check. Vex pulls it off. Heavy is the crown Vex.
CMB
Definitely very,
bailing out
very
the
insane
lobby.
close finish there. I'm glad we did not see a 600 Anima cash out win, because I am not an Anima cash out fan, but Vex Graves, or the Vex crown was very interesting to see. Such close fights. What a crazy finish. I feel like every single game, like, they're ending very different endings, so definitely keeping us on our toes there. Way less Samira. Everyone's trying to play it and not able to cap it out fully. Looked pretty close from Soju there to be able to do it, but
I said
not quite.
Soju very quietly that game as well, taking yet another top 4 finish, 3-3-4, putting him at 17 points. If he does that one more time, he'll be in check as well as probably with some of our other contenders.
Yeah, and so
I believe Marcel
very
will
exciting.
be guaranteed next game as well, right?
Yes, because Marcel just needs an 8, which you can't not get an 8. So Marcel will be in check in game 5, so we will have at least one. We'll see how many others can join. We're gonna go ahead and take a break while we update scores, and we'll come back with game 4. All right, welcome back, everyone, as we jump immediately into stage
Yeah, we can
stage
remake
3
Loki.
augments.
We can remake.
Augments appear in 3-1, 3-2, and 3-3 instead. I know this is somebody here's favorite augment or favorite encounter. If you want to explain this one.
Yeah, it's really cool when some of these stage 3 stage 3 augments kind of interact with each other in ways that you weren't really expecting that much.
Yeah, I absolutely love getting forward thinking a stage early so you can cash it out in stage 3, get all of your interest back while also getting Zed augment right before and having 50 gold.
The favorite one I've seen is forward thinking into hedge fund into Zed.
Yeah, this is like, yeah, we'll see if anyone hits anything crazy like that, but yeah, I think this is one of the encounters we're not the best fans of. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully nothing too crazy, but also like, especially when I think this is one where it's like, thankfully nobody's in check, because like if you're one of those players, like I could only imagine Marcel was in check from last game as our sole player, and then he gets, like we said, our forward thinking into hedge fund into Zed, and it's just like, okay, well, what do you do?
I was
Like,
about to say, like,
the player just won the game. At least nobody's in check, so nobody can do that.
As a spectator, I don't mind this. It's really funny when these things happen to someone else and it's not against me in rank.
That's every time I cast, it's like, yes, give me all the prismatics, give me emblem ensemble, give me like.
Yeah, I'm literally
all the
I want an emblem ensemble, and then I want to go to K3 Soju stream after this clip, and I just want to see how far he sinks into that chair.
And then meanwhile, when I'm playing, I'm like, just give me 2 component anvils and just like get me out. Just like let me play something stable. Like no loot subs, no nothing. So it's just like, yeah, it's totally different. It's funny how like exact opposite spectrum, and like that's kind of why they have some of these augments and these encounters and things, is to like make it more entertaining, more spectator. They're more casual friendly for the players, like playing like a lot of like players that are just looking to log on, play a normal game in TFT, have some fun. That's why we see Chonk's Treasure come back. So it's like they're in the game for a reason. They deserve to be there. But as like a competitive player, it is not as fun.
Wait, is there a spectator bug where you can't see augments? Wait, I just realized.
Nope.
Oh wait.
Remember, it's stage 3. I also just thought the same thing. This is also why this encounter throws me off every time. I'm like, where's my augment? What is happening? And then, like, even as a player, I do that. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to pick my augment. Hello, game. Where's my augment? So
I sit there just kind of like staring at my screen for a couple of seconds, but
yeah, and it's definitely one where it's like, it just makes it where it's hard to decide your line, and it's also like, you just kind of, I guess, you just want to like win streak the stage so you can set up based on like all the potential stuff you could get, and it, like also like.
I think try not hide it, because I was about to say the counterpoint that I think is the other way you can play this is really angle into your loss streak. Like, really take advantage of things like Anima, take things of like the econ traits as well, right?
Interestingly, we decided not to play it here though.
Yeah.
I feel like we are just opting to try and win, but yeah, because definitely had potential. But I feel like even if played the Aurora here, you still win unless you full sell everything else. And it wasn't enough econ to make 10. And we already pumped a level. Like, we're already level 4.
I was gonna say, the biggest thing being level 4 kind of makes it awkward here.
It's just weird because lost the first fight, so like, we lost when leveling, and then now we have the Anima, but we're already leveled, so it just like puts you in a weird spot. And like I said, with it also being stage 3 augments, it's just like, I just feel like every time I get stage 3 augments, I'm like, I forget how to play the game. It just feels so different. It's like, this just, it just doesn't feel right.
This will be really interesting to see how our players kind of play around this early game, especially with some of them needing to play for like, or wanting to play for like pretty high placements. We have, I believe, 5 players that can enter this turn.
Yeah,
Ladder Slayer would need a first, who needs a top 5, CMB needs a top 4, Soju needs a third, or no, sorry, I had it
Yes.
backwards. Marcel needs a 7th, Soju needs like a 6th, and the rest need around top 4. So, and then Ladder with the 1st. So it'll be interesting to see if people try to play really aggressively, especially the ones that are sitting around like 15 or 16 HP, just to try to guarantee a top 2. Really play these like high tempo lines and try to bleed out or something.
Yeah, so we will see in our next lobby, we'll have anywhere between 1 and 5 players in check. Because we are guaranteed the one from Marcel. And that's also where this game, as like Marcel, feels really weird. Because it's like, you're guaranteed in no matter what, even if you go 8. But at the same time, there's nobody else in check. So you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna just target grief this one player the whole time. You could try and like target grief somebody if like you could try and grief Soju, who like as the next point later needs a 3rd. So it's like, do I try and send them bot 2? But it's still like a lot to just go after one, and it's like, do you try and grief somebody? It's just like, it feels like you're in a weird spot. It's like, what is my purpose this game?
I believe, having watched some other players talk about this when they were asked the same question, it does come down to, like, you could either do what you say, and then some of them also just see it as like, well, the higher I place in this lobby, like, I actually can earn different levels of prize money based on how I play. So I think people are still going to be trying to play, maybe even just like a safe, normal game. Take the game to just kind of like, obviously you need to still stay locked in, but it's not going to be as high stakes as the other games. So maybe just observe what other people are doing.
Yeah, it's almost
try
like
to
a game
solidify yourself for more prize money.
Yeah, it's a game you can also, like I said, just kind of play for a consistent top 4, not stress too much about it, just not worry, and like just prepare yourself mentally for the next game. And so you just don't put a lot of pressure on this one, so you just go into the next game fresh no matter what. But also while just trying to get like a safe top 4 to like increase your points to be able to play for like, even if you don't win like the entire tourney because you don't get checked, you can put yourself in a better spot to have more points to like play for that second at like bare minimum to get like the prize points.
We are full open with the Yasuo Hex on our Maokai. I was also about to just say, it's been kind of interesting to see how people, especially what you said, since the line selection is kind of hard this game with no augments, how people will...
This is a funny matchup. That is going to be a scary Orin once they hit, getting the Cosmic Hex from it, but in the meantime, it's like, let's buff up the Samira. So like, Brotherhood definitely committing fully to like the Samira Orin board. We'll see if they get the augments to match it or not.
We saw another player, I forget who, had a Gargoyle Slam on a Gnosis 2 in that Hex. We have a strong feeling we know where that one's going.
Yeah, I think that was CMB that had the Gnosis 2 stone plate early. Yep. So like, definitely, there's a lot of players that could be it, and that's when you start getting to like, okay, well, all these other players also have the spot. Am I trying to take it too, or can I find my other? And I think especially today,
Gnar too.
Dishlub did play the Gnar print in the first game as well, right? Or was that? No, that was somebody. I think
that was him. He went 7th, I believe.
Okay, so we know Dishlub's open to playing the Gnar line, so I'm curious. We take a look when like we get augment selection coming. This is where like, oh man, it's such a lot of work.
to back to back.
Yeah, through the next like, 3 rounds of having to check everyone's augment. Yeah, I feel like there's like the game is gonna be flipped on its head these next 3 rounds.
Oh? Wonder if this is the spot to take it. It looks for more components, which is never bad in this line.
We took... Oh, I thought that was Heat Death for a second. No, that's the Rost one. The Rost HP per one. I was like, wait, how did you get Heat Death? Because that is one thing with it being all stage 3. There will be 0 hero augments because you can't see any. But... yeah, I think the Rost here would like... I wonder if like we just stick to this MF line, but that only gives us value from these 2. Or if we're looking to... I imagine being 100 Streak, this is a Vex board. We're playing Vex, we're playing Fast 9, we're going to play all of these unique traits with the Rage Blade red buff, and I think it's in a great spot to get there. So,
Yeah, makes sense.
but we'll have to see as everyone else picks their augments. I think come carousel, we'll just have to go look around at everyone's to catch up on what everyone got. But and then there's some augments too with this. You get Slammin', which is like valued at like a 3-2 that you get a turn early. So you can sometimes like cheat the augments a little bit.
Ooh.
It also can happen in reverse. We get a prismatic to follow up, so no Zed augment here. But we haven't seen everyone's boards. It could be the potential forward thinking into hedge fund. There is potential for somebody.
Wow, I mean, Priz, gold Priz. I don't know what the odds are, but if we get double Priz on this, it could be very, very wonky. Spending a lot of time trying to pick our augment here. Or let's say it just takes the Sword Overflow. I mean, this is just Corki, if Corki ever Corkied, right?
Yeah, it has to be, I think. Because I'm not like... Yeah, I don't think there's anything else you can play but Corki. We slam double Deathblade, we take our 4 sword. Because we throw one on Corki, we throw one on
Curse
Riven,
Crown 2
we get our
tanky.
last despair. That is insane. That is so much value because you can play the set. Part of the like downside of 2 tanky Samira is like, okay, it's kind of hard to fit in 7 space group to the well, now you have Curse Crown, you have 2 extra spots. Taking Curse Crown in a final lobby is so hype.
Wait, like, I'm so in. TMB just gets some solid econ. Also playing for the space group line. What did Marcel end up angling towards? We can look after this augment. Because that was our other full open player. Takes the gold, realizes he's going to be contested. And Marcel P. Is this another Lulu game?
What is the first augment that has? I forget which. Oh, care package. Okay. I was gonna say it looks like Money Hungry, but I know it's not that because that's a stage 1.
This
I think
is
care
Fountain,
package,
right?
Yes, this is Fountain Lulu. So for those that don't know the Lulu, because this one was taken out for a bit, Fountain Lulu casts on 3 extra units, so you can hit backline much sooner. This is a unit that can sometimes deal with the Ornn because you'll be hitting backline units, whereas typically Lulu can't because she's just stuck on it. So I think this is one potential for it. I wonder if we'll like stick with it. We have been Cosmic Hexing the Maokai for a while, so we could stick with this line. It looks like we probably will be.
With the roll on 6, we're kind of...
We do have the duplicator as well, so it's just a matter of can get to 7. I feel like we're just a little low in HP to be able to play for it, but I don't know what our other outs are with these items either. Unfortunately, the Lulu can't kill it right before it goes down, so we don't kill some of these more frontline units, so we're going to take a pretty bad loss there. But I think that's also, as we mentioned, Marcel being guaranteed, where it's like, okay, you can play something like Lulu in this fountain if you're not as sure. You could like kind of see how it does into this lobby to see if it is a potential for like later games. Like we saw Lulu win earlier on Medallion. You can kind of limit test a bit this game where it's like, there's no stakes on what my score is, so let's pull it out and see. I kind of have the spot for it. Let's see if it's good enough.
Cambuli still streaking, by the way.
Yeah, I'm curious if we see what Cambuli took as the other augments. So, yeah, this just is... I mean, being 8 streak, if we win the next 2, I feel like this is just such a fast 9 board where Cambuli is like in such a great spot to win out. And Cambuli being at one of those players that kind of really needs the first, because sitting there at 10 points, this will put you at 18. Where like it'll put you in a good spot to get check in the next game, because if you don't get a top position in this one, it's going to be really hard knowing that like pretty much the rest of the lobby will be in check.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, like, maybe it's a little bit sus whether or not he can actually streak the rest of the stage, but rotating into a pretty weak board from Marcel right now should be able to pick up this win.
Yeah, I think it's also, like, Cambule really needs to hit the Graves on the roll down. Having slammed the Asterix and the IE, like, those are definitely Graves items. Like, you could have... Wow, this Lulu...
This is what you were talking about.
See, this Lulu being able to skip the front line because it's Fountain to hit those extra units, to be able to take down this one-star MF, ending Cambule's streak here, which is definitely going to hurt his chances to be able to go fast 9. But we do have all his HP, so, like, it's definitely possible. So, like, it's not too worry. It's just like, having to need to hit the Graves, though, because you slammed the items for it, it makes it a little bit scarier because you can't miss on that one, it feels like.
Soju also just upgraded to a Samira too. One of the points I was going to make about this line is I don't think he's going to be playing it, but even though we haven't seen Samira and Space Group really pop off in terms of actually winning these games, the reason why it's considered so good is that on 2 stars, this board is just so strong. And while that might not mean it can win every game, how many high cap things are in the game right now with all these like AP, like level 9 caps, and like we saw Robo who in the first game cap out with a really good Stargazer board. This board is so good at just solidifying placements from, like, it has such a high floor and also such a high ceiling where if you do get the spot for it, you can like cap out super high on level 9 with like the Blitzcrank 2, similar in the ways that the AP boards do. So the reason why we see a lot of people opt into these contests, even though it's like, okay, well, why are they doing this when like you can maybe play something else and go like maybe go for like a 3rd instead of like a 4th or a 5th. It's just that this comp is just so much safer.
Yeah, and I'm curious what Soju ends up doing here, because to me this looks like we're trying to play into like Corky Riven. We're trying to pivot into it, but we already know there's one other Corky Riven player. I've definitely seen throughout like TPC, players are not afraid to contest that line, but we're clearly like, we didn't hit the Samira spot, we didn't hit like the Orns, like we're passing these Orn 2 in a row. We're playing around this Poppy that's stacking with Cosmic Hex. I think it's one of those just solid, like, hit the Orn kind of late, not able to stack it up. We saw that it's like heavily contested. And I think what the default lines to, like, when you miss on the Samira Orn when you're playing it, is either the Corky Riven or the Xayah. With it being Fountain, you can't really go into Xayah. We don't have bows, so it feels like you're just kind of forced into the Corky Riven if you're not playing around Samira. Because I'm not sure who else, like, wants these items, but even then these aren't like this items either for Corky, so I feel like this is a rough spot to be.
I think Sochi's plan for the rest of this game is just try to find some carry on the next round to roll down for and just try to eke out the 6. That's all he needs in this spot to put himself in check. And yeah, we called out earlier, Dishsoap is playing another game of the Humble Nar unit.
Yeah, I'm curious to see when Dishsoap gets in 7 Meeple so that they can start printing. But they're only at 4 Nars. So assuming, like, let's say we find 1 more Nar, like, naturally in shop, you still have to print 4 more, which is 8 turns. So I feel like that's, like, the problem with this comp. And, like I said, we don't have the Meeple units. We don't have Ramus. We don't have the Corky. Like, we don't have these others. So I don't know that...
Oh.
I mean, there's Ramus and Corky, so maybe.
Well,
reverse caster curse.
I say as the biggest thing for this game that might be kind of difficult is that with Corky Riven being potentially 2-weight here, it's going to be really hard to find these units.
Yeah, and but I think like even I don't think we're playing for the Gnar either though, because we don't have the 7 Meeple, so. We can't print, we're missing the units. We do have a dupe again, so we do only need 3 more, so that's 6 turns. You could find one naturally. But like, we are low on HP to be able to print. And this is the Lulu, like I said, we see it starting to hit the backline, but it can't get through the other units quite fast enough.
Yeah, that board does have 9 units.
Cursed Crown. There's a lot of units to kill. Yes, you can skip the Orn, but you have to kill 8 other units behind it. So,
And even when you
That's a
do
little
start
difficult.
killing these like lower level tanks, it just makes the super Ornn so much tankier. It's just that is such a beautiful spot here.
And like we're kind of far off on the like we have 6 Jaxes, but we're kind of low on the other ones. We do have one single dupe that we would like to save. We have double tank hexes, so it does help stall out for this Lulu a lot. And Fountain wants to stall out more so than other Stargazers because you gain the like stacking AP. You get the health regen, so it's like this is kind of like a good spot to play Lulu. Just you kind of also have to hit the units. Before this is like the point where you just start falling over because you're not strong enough to beat everyone.
Setsuko
But
is
hey,
playing
some
around
good losses.
Urgot 3.
Oh, a good win. Healing orbs coming in clutch there. Being able to keep the Lulu alive as it kills off the last 4 units. And I imagine we'll see a lot of people pick Ari to try and get the because I think a lot of players do have double Yasuo. So most people don't like taking triple Yasuo just so you can get like some bonus gold, and Ari being bonus gold as well. Like especially for like Marcel's line here, you need the gold to roll. So you get gold now, and then you get gold again in 3 turns from the Yasuo boon. So yeah, we see
Looks like
every single
pretty much
player.
everyone. Also, I think 30% attack speed is one of the ones that people generally like skipping anyway. It doesn't feel nearly as impactful as like the free the free anti-heal or like the stun hex.
Yeah,
Even like
and I think
mana regen.
especially there's like the carries that are people playing are right now are not attack speed focused. Like we're not in like the LeBlanc meta where like early on in the set where everyone wanted LeBlanc, wanted your attack speed.
Okay.
Like it's good for the Vex, but yeah, as we roll down all the way down to 0 and 2 Jax is short, 3 Milia short, 3 Lulus, like, and we have the 1 dupe, so it's like you want to hit one so you can then dupe the other. So I feel like this is one where it's like, I don't know. I feel like I would have waited 2 turns to like if you lose the next 2, it's fine. Not the gold. I feel like that was really difficult to be able to hit everything there.
I think the concern is that this lobby is so high capped that if you drop down to like 1 or 2 lives, you will inevitably just lose out.
Yeah.
So maybe here this is just like a Hail Mary attempt to try to secure like a 5th instead of like a 6th or something. Ladder Slayer is just dead.
And we see Soju on the other side. Did play that Corki, and then I also saw was holding a Lulu to hope to send one other player down before Soju's board falls off, because he just needs the top 6. So if it's like you can knock out one of the other players, but Soju's sitting at the top of the leaderboard or the top of this
Streaking,
lobby.
by the way,
Very
we were
good
talking
chance.
about like his spot looking pretty weak with not a bunch of gold and less than ideal items, but that matchmaking, I'm gonna assume it's the matchmaking.
I think the Ramas 2 helps out a lot too, where hey, we're stuck on Corki 1, but somehow hit Ramas 2 while contested. Dishlope couldn't hit it. I forget who our other Corki player was, because I think we have 3 of them. So
Was it Ladder Slayer? It was, right? Because that was the Sword Overflow Mace's Will.
oh yeah, it was. So yeah, just Soju just pulling out the Ramas 3. No econ augments, just yep. And having the Baron's Lair augment, so like this Ramas
That is
cannot
a
die.
lot of combat power.
You're getting a lot of strength on your backline. Like this Corki has so much AD as it stacks up as the fight stalls on. Yeah, we see Dish Soap on the other side switch from the Gnar to the Corki as kind of expected there because we were far off the Gnar. And barely taking down this when this Corki casts, sometimes you're like, oh, there's 4 units alive. It can't kill every oh, it killed everything.
Yeah.
Bro, seeing lots of
Also,
bows
like,
across the board.
Bravo, who is sitting at 35 HP, we just need to reiterate once again that this is basically 2 lives, given the Curse Crown augment. So it'll be really interesting
Oh, true. That is a very good call out
to
because
see
I
how
forgot
much
about
these
that.
losses will affect. The Samira 3 should hopefully stave that off, but without Ornn 3, this comp is still very vulnerable.
Yeah, and then also like not hitting the 7 space group yet. Meanwhile, CMB over here hits Blitz 2 while playing the 7 space group, and
Yeah,
has Hex for it. It's going to
Another
start
concern-
stacking up HP.
My only concern is that doesn't really have like, oof, that's a little bit rough. Doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily have the best
That's
items
just a
for...
straight up log
Yeah.
magic, because there's nothing worth selling, because
So to get to this spot, they took double econ as well as like big grab bag. And like, yeah, you're getting the Yasuo Hex for frontlines, but like it might not be enough. I mean, this board has so much damage.
yeah, and we rolled Radiant Declaw into the AD matchup, so this Ornn's gonna fall over immediately.
I think
The
CMB is dead.
Blitzcrank dies and comes right back, so hey, more
This
Ornns
is
in the poll
Setsuko's
for
ghost,
others.
right?
I
Setsuko's playing
believe
that.
so.
Setsuko finding a very interesting line here, playing around the Urgot 3, I think is a really cool adaptation. Well, the biggest issue with Yi is that it just falls off so hard. Setsuko trying to use this Urgot 3 as a way to kind of mitigate that a little bit and just steal some more placements, be strong for just a little longer.
Yeah, and Marcel over here hitting the upgrades. He hit the Jax 3, hit the Lulu 3. Last we checked, we were 2 off Jax, 3 off Lulu. Managed to hit after getting the extra gold from the Yasuo boon. So, able to hit, and like, this is where it's like, okay, Lulu feels good now. You can start like killing the other units behind. We have all this utility on Milio to do a bunch of damage. We have 2 tanks. We have this Maokai that's been stacking HP. We have the double tank hexes. So like, I feel like this is a very, very strong board that we don't get to see Lulu Fountain like hardly at all. So always exciting to see.
Is there? Wow, can this Jax move?
It's raining fish. Look at all the fish bounce after it hits them. Bounces, hits the backline units, but not quite strong enough maybe. We do have the healing orbs, baby can come in. Nope, we one-shot the Lulu.
Yeah. The Samir 3
As
unit...
Brabra throws a fish back at him.
You were talking about this last game when we saw the other 2 tanky setup. One of the nice techs in that line is being able to play the double Samira, which you usually can't play in like the 2 tanky setup because you want the double Ornn, you want all the space grooves. But the Cursed Crown here as kind of like some forbidden tech actually lets you play this like double knockup strat. We saw how much damage that Jax took at the start of the fight with the repeated casts on it. Just melted it despite the Bramble, despite the Heartsteel, and despite the Cryo Hex.
And then over here, we mentioned Cambulus, how we said like slamming the IE Sterix, like you want to hit the Graves. Looks like we missed the Graves a little bit later, but hey, we have a Fiora too. Can also use those items as well. IE, like, still good damage item, not the best one you want, but hey, this Fiora's gonna tear through everything as well. We can see it casting, the entire board's dead before it even like gets hit. So very strong spot from Cambuli, definitely has a win out angle. Like we said, being at that 10 points, being able to get 8 if we can pull it out. As we win this fight against Setsuko. We take a look over at Jisoo. And falling down to the Samira. Very, very close.
Yep.
But whose board is also going to be very strong with, as you mentioned, the Curse Crown getting to play everything. All the extra units. And then Setsuko over here playing. We're seeing a lot more Yi today, I feel like, than we might have expected. I feel like it's a very like safe line for like a top 4, and Setsuko being at 11 points can't get into check, so I feel like this is also one where it's like you play for that safe top 2, top 3, and I feel like Yi's a good board to be able to do that. While also we hit quite a few upgrades. We have Urgot 3 as well that you don't typically see on this board, so looking very strong from Setsuko here.
Yep, and kind of along the same vein as you were talking about with that Jinx board, this is one of those boards that like a lot of the value like that we haven't really unlocked that much just in the standard way of playing it is how many carries we have. Hitting the Lucky Gloves augment, being able to itemize like 2 more carries in the Belveth and the Quality just as like it might not seem that much because these 2 units aren't very good, but just being able to have that extra like 2 or 3k damage really snowballs the fights for these melee carries. Means you might get stuck on the front line for a little bit less. We see here it's just not enough to beat the Lulu 3, but
that is the most value from a healing orbs I have ever seen. The number of fights where this Lulu is down there, and this is part of the fountain too. It's stacked up all the AP by the end of the fight and can hit more of those backline units because it hits more units. So it's just killing those backline units while it's being hit in the face by whatever tank is matched up against it at 1 HP. And then it just kills backline. Here, sorry, Braum, Ornn, whoever you are. You have to hit me again. Oh, I killed one more behind you. You have to hit me again. Oh, you can't do it. I took you down. So I'm a Lulu fan. Really fun to watch. So like, we get 2 games where Lulu pops off today. Not what I expected.
We're seeing now Ambuli trying to see if this humble Vex board can deal with the 2 tanky Samir, which it looks like it will. This will be a really hard lock.
Yeah, I'm curious how much
Is
HP
he-
this is. I don't think he's dead. I think it's 1 HP. It's gonna be like 1 HP.
Oh, he's
right?
dead.
Oh, he -1. So close.
K3 Soji sneaks in a third. This
36
game
damage.
with IE
Bravo.
Corky.
Oh, and is that enough? Bravo who needed 5 points. Oh,
Yeah, that
okay,
should be
so
just
it's
enough.
just enough. And 'cause
Wow.
Marcel P also getting knocked out there from the Lulu. So Marcel or Bravo who sneaking in just enough. That's so scary having taken Cursed Crown because you can take those losses and just lose all of your standings there. But I feel like you can just let out a sigh of relief that okay, I got the points I need. I'm in check. So far the players in check. We have Marcel, we have Brabrahu, we have Soju, all 3 in check. Cambuli not quite. Setsuko also can't get into check here, but it sets both of these players up to get into check in the next game for sure. If like as long as somebody else does not win. So I think we just have 3 going into it.
Yeah, this
Because
is
CMB didn't score enough. CMB needed a 5th. So
let's go hit another Fiora 2. Might be playing double Fiora 2 with the 2 TGs. I was going to call that out earlier as potential tech. We'll have to see. And I just want to comment on it early. After a really, like, mental is such an important thing in esports, and Cambuli, like, being a long-time competitor, even like, despite the really poor start and kind of like the cursed lobbies they've been a part in, being able to string together, I believe, the 3rd and last game and a 1st in this game, I think, so basically at, especially if he wins this, basically guaranteed check next game. Very good stuff here. Being able to stay locked in, being able to fight through the variants, being able to just kind of do what you need to do, like put yourself in a position that even despite the slow start, you can still compete and like has still, especially if next game does not go as well for people like Marcel and Babahu and Soju, like has just as good a shot as them to win this.
yeah, and I think pretty much everything you said about Cambuli, you can pretty much just say ditto to Setsuko, who in that very first game we saw died on 4-2 without winning a single fight, to then come back in the next game to take a 2nd, and then have like a middling game from the next one, and then again here, taking yet again another top 2, for these 2 players to both be at like that 18-19 point range to go into the final one, as we have like potentially a final fight here, but it looks like if Cambuli wins this, we will have one more fight. And it looks like it is. There's a lot of power for Setsuko to have to take down as we can't get through the Fiora.
Cambuli's
We have
2 lives now.
So, yeah, that is a lot of HP to heal up from this Fiora. So, I don't know if there's an adjustment Setsuko can make to take down this board. With this Nunu having the Radiant Warmogs as well, this is just like a lot to take down before you're even able to damage the Fiora or the Vex.
Yeah, I think we as a community have kind of talked about how this Nunu unit is kind of paper, especially lately compared to the likes of like you know, just like an Orin, a Leona, even like a Rammus with the right setup. But
not when you have a Radiant Warmogs there.
Yeah, taking so much aggro with gargoyles.
Takes full aggro, gets double cast off to hit the entire like team, while Vex is completely untouched back here on the opposite side of the board. Vex doing all the damage there. Big win from Cambuli. This will put both of them at 18 points. So both, as long as you both take a top 7 in the next game, they're both through on to check. As long as somebody else does not win. And we'll see if we're able to pull up scores at some point. But I believe, like I said, Soju will be in check, Marcel in check, and who is the other third? Brabrahu.
Yep.
Just enough to sneak in. So 3 players going in, and then everyone else pretty close. Like, I'm just glad we're seeing all these Samira players all fall off to like a 3rd or a 4th. So we thought we'd win some of these.
I kind of
won yet. These other boards are kind of like. It's fun to see different boards. We saw Lulu again, Fountain Lulu. When's the last time we've seen that one? So.
I believe your stream.
Yeah, probably. And I don't think I played Fountain recently, so yeah, I feel like that's always one thing that's like concerning going into like the last game, that it's like we don't know like how the meta is necessary, because I think it's very like that's a very important thing like to see of these pro players, like the skills that they can pull out of how they adapt to a tournament meta, because every day it changes. You get all the stats from the previous day, you see what comps are performing well, who's doing well on what, and you can kind of adjust around that. You can see what comps aren't being played, like, oh, we didn't see a lot of Master Yi. Hey, this is a line I can probably pilot like pretty consistently to be able to hit and get that consistent top four to set up for check. So I feel like there's a lot there that you can do that you don't see in the previous days. You can see like, oh, everyone's playing Samir, it's performing really well, that then
Mhm.
everyone tries to do it and then it falls off a bit. But we're about to load into our fifth game. I think we're gonna take a very, very quick break and be right back with our potentially final game as we have here in Czech, but we will see. All right, welcome back everyone as we join into our fifth and hopefully not final game. Let's see how many more games we can get out, as we have a bunch of players close to Czech, but we have, as we mentioned, Marcel, Soju, and blah who all in Czech who can potentially win this one. The other ones, as we mentioned, Cambuli and Setsuko are 2 points off, as well as CMB. So we have 3 players as well. As long as they don't go 8th, we could have in the next lobby, we could actually have potentially 7 players in Czech. The only player that cannot is the Soap. Oh. Sorry for technical difficulties if going on. I think we're still there. Alright, we're back. Apologies for that. Few technical difficulties working with the tourney client. Spectator doesn't always work the best, but we are back as we load into. We have gold augment start. We'll see if we
CMB
take
looking too tanky.
1-2 tanky already. We know how much everyone loves that. I'm curious to see what we get from spreading roots here, because I feel like surely we're gonna take it, right? We haven't rolled it yet.
There's
I know that's a
evil
pro
and
player's
intimidating. There's an
Ooh.
evil and intimidating third item on it, right?
And we took it.
We
got
took
our
it.
Warpath. Hey, Gwen's a pretty good one to hit there. So I feel like Warpath is, I don't know, when you're, I guess if you're in check, you have to play for first. You have a strong board opener here. Like, that's honestly the best unit you could have got from here. You automated Briar too. You have upgraded Brawlers. So, and then you can play for getting these legendaries out. Like, it is a way to go first. If you're able to, like, 10 streak, you can cash out Warpath in stage 3 and then run over the lobby. So, like, I don't hate this. As somebody that is not a Warpath fan, the number of times that you take Warpath and you're like, oh, I'm at 70, I just need to win 1-2 more to be able to cash out and get it, and then just you bleed out and can never do it because you don't have an augment. Hey, it was in the spot there. Mars LP taking 2 tanky. I think you said also, was it CMB that also took it?
I believe so.
So,
That is
yep.
pretty interesting. Pink's going out.
So, yeah, we have 2 contesting. I imagine 1. We'll see if CMB gets the Arbiter. If you get the Leona print, you can get 2 Leona 4s. So I feel like 1 has to go it instead of both contesting the Samira.
Mhm.
However, CMB could also be one that just reefs Marcel, because all CMB needs is to not go 8th. So if you're able to not go 8th and grief one of the players in check, like, hey, you can do it. So
That is a good point.
there is a lot that when you have Brobrahu over here dealing 5 damage to everyone, to stack up this Warpath that much quicker. So it is definitely something we'll have to keep checking on to see how, as the stages go on, how much they get. This is one where it's like CMB, you're like, where's my Zoe? I need to be able to check this Arbiter to know for sure.
Yeah, this is a frustrating one.
Especially when you know like the 2 tanky line is contested, so like you definitely need it. I'm also curious what our encounter was, because I think we missed it as we were trying
It was
to get back
Prismatic
in.
Finale.
Okay, Prismatic Finale. Okay, cool. So we know we'll definitely be ending on Prismatic. A lot of those like high level, like econ ones. That is something that like our Warpath, that it's like, okay, if you haven't cashed out, there are a lot of Prismatics that might be able to bail you out to finish getting your Warpath value. So that is something to look out for.
It'll be really interesting to see which of our which players can play like a strong opener and then use that Prismatic to snowball to like an even stronger like fast line position. I think will be the big thing to look for here.
I'm also curious what Ladder Slayer ends up playing from this Static Shiv. I feel like it's not an artifact you see picked a whole lot. I'm not sure who the best users of it are, besides, you know, of course, like a Vex, but I feel like it's not a strong enough item that you can play for Vex, because you're not going to be healthy enough to play from it, because I don't feel like it's the best early game item. So I'm curious where that ends up going.
Did Brobahu take the fist? Because if so, that is a TG.
Well, it's definitely, it's going to show a different item for everyone. No,
Oh,
it is.
No, for
everyone
Kale.
gets
From
it.
Kale.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, probably, I would imagine. Where
Yeah, yep.
it's always hard to
Towards
see when they're all
fist.
stacked up. It looks like it did take it though. Oh, what if we? Oh, I was gonna say, what if we just had a Gwen 3 and carry that? But instantly sells the 2 Gwen pair.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those where it's like, I mean, if it doesn't grief your econ, you can kind of hold it to play around, but we also have to get our econ back. Because I've definitely done that in some games. Like I've hit Jinx 3 at Krugs before, because it's just like, well, if you're just gonna shower me a Jinx, I'll play the Jinx, I'll make it work. You get those rare games. So I feel like it's always like, I want to hold potential for it, but
Now that we've been able to see
Really on the
everyone's
side.
spot, I just want to call out this Warpath is such a good pick. There are some people playing kind of weak boards, but the two with a 2-component opener, it gets really awkward trying to slam if you already know what your line is roughly going to be if you don't have like a perfect slam for it. Like for example, like we even took Warpath and didn't slam our 2 components, right? If you looked around the lobby, saw people taking things like this 2 tanky early isn't really that great, and then there's Calcloss, this Warpath actually becomes like a lot less risky, and especially if you can do the damage earlier, it becomes really good. Like you might even be able to cash out like before neutrals if you can like fully streak. So it's a really heads up, like now that we have seen like the whole lobby and could see what everyone's spot ended up turning out to be over the next few rounds, it was a very good call by Rafu to take it.
Yeah,
I did say that,
especially
and they did lose.
yeah,
Sorry.
especially when you're in the like check format where it's like, okay, I can win this one. If everyone else is weak, I can cash out Warpath and then I can play to actually win this. I'm curious if we take a look at CMBs if we found Arbiter yet, to see if they're being able to play. We still have not found Arbiter, or we found it and threw it away, but I think we slammed the Deathblade, so I think it is just going to be a contest the Samira and try and take Marcel down with you. So it's like, okay, you're like signaling to the lobby, hey, I'm doing my part, I'm taking this one out, you guys take out the others. Somebody else take out Sojourn, somebody take out Robohu, I've got this one. And like, I'll take my 7th and get out. So yeah, there's a little bit of like, when there's 3 players in check, you can kind of work together as a lobby to stop them. Once you get into like 5 people, it's like, okay, over half the people are, there's not even enough people to like grief each person. So it's like, okay, you kind of like, it's just every man for himself at that point. But right now, like, you can still kind of work together a bit.
See, Setsuko actually able to pull off the win streak. Camvuli full loss, it looked like. I believe he was the Calcloss player.
Yes. And then I'm not sure what Dish Soap had. Yeah, Cambule on the calculated loss. And we got our 50 gold. We got our item anvil. I don't remember Dish Soaps if you want to take a look. Also very close in HP.
If I remember correctly, Marcel P was
savings
the
account.
other 2 tanky.
Yes.
CMB9 did hit that Samira. Or with Dish Soap.
Dish Soap also contesting the
also
Samira line
has a
from
Deathblade. Also has a Deathblade Samira. Okay.
Yeah. So we finally got our lobby of 3 Samira players. Now it's a matter of who stays and who pivots. And this is where we'll bring it up a lot, but like check changes everything and how like you potentially play this and who you decide to contest versus not. Do you want to pivot out? So like it puts people in weird spots. Marcel P is 100% playing this and will not pivot. So that's one player in check that you know.
The nice thing about 2 tanky is we talked about the downside being like it's hard to play. Decides not to play this Samira. But yes, the downside is that you can't really make use of like the full 5 space group early or the 7 space group late game. Right, you'll always be tacked because you're playing with 2 Orns, like you mentioned before. The trade-off is on 2 stars, your board has so much power because this Orn on 2 stars is even tankier than a normal 2-star is. So maybe that's just kind of a way for these players. They both obviously made the same read, so they're not going to be able to outlast each other per se, just based off of the augment, but being able to outlast the other Samira players, assuming you're all on 2-star because you have a really good 2-star position with that augment, might be part of what Marcel was thinking going into this, knowing he could potentially be contested.
Yeah, I've definitely heard players say that it's like 2 tanky is like your mid game is so much stronger because you can play the double Orn. So like on 2 stars, your board is so much stronger. However, not having 2 tanky, having the other, having like a better augment is a stronger cap when you can get the 7 space groove. But that also requires to like find the blitz, hit all your 3 stars early, and play strong mid game. So that's why you see most players still opt to the 2 tanky, even though it's not as high a cap as the others. And when you're contested, 2 tanky gives you that if you hit it first, because it prints you another unit, you will be like even stronger to be able to get whatchamacallit. You'll get the extra 3 Orns after, so you can grief a contester faster if you do hit and knock them out. Also, I want to call it on the other side, Setsuko taking the Cosmic Restart and getting the Stargazer Timebreaker Hex. And then So this is Boar, so I imagine we'll probably play towards like the Zaya or something. Or we might just end up reforging the Stargazer stuff later. But I feel like
Also,
when it's Boar, you get a lot of value there.
that was very, very close and very concerning for Setsuko, who leveled to 7 on 10 interest to try to continue that streak. I would be very scared in that spot if I lost that round.
Yeah. And man, do we get yet again another Lulu game today? Or I don't know, these items are not very Lulu-ish, so we'll see. But we do have an early Nunu as well. We're gonna get Timebreaker rolls in because we have the Milio, we have the Pantheon, we have our third one. So we're gonna be able to stack that up. If we're able to win, like we're 100 streaking right now anyways, this is a strong board. We're gonna get extra XP from a Timebreaker. We're gonna get extra gold from Boar on Stargazer. So it's like we're just gonna cap out so much higher because we're getting all these extra resources now. It's just a matter of, is the board quite strong enough to win right now? And it looks like it is. As other people haven't like fully figured out their boards yet. We're just like, and especially because we need all that extra econ because we had to roll down pretty deep, being down to 17 gold there. So, yeah.
This is another really important fight to watch.
Yeah, I'm curious if we look at after this fight ends. Oh, this is so cool. Watching the Akali and Gwen dance around each other. If we look at Bravo who's board after to see how much Warpath damage they've done, we'll see what we end up taking from all our God Boons from everyone. But Bravo who has only lost one fight, there is potential that we could cash out Warpath if we win the next 2 fights, that we cash it out here. Before people spike in stage 4, we get our 5 costs, we get our 2-star 4 costs, we get our extra items. Like, this is where it's like, this is what you want from Warpath. This is like the only angle where you're like, yes, it feels good, this is what I want. Every other time it's like you start to panic when it's like, how do I win a fight to be able to finish cashing this out? So
I'm a little concerned about cashing it out with how close that fight win is. That's not a lot of damage going into the Warpath. Only 52 is kind of sus.
Yeah, so we need 28 more damage. So we're not gonna finish it here in stage 3, even if we win the next 2. But that'll set us up where like you only need 1 win in stage 4. We're sitting on 30 gold here. So, like, I don't know. If we win out the next 2, we'll be pretty rich. I just don't know if this board can win the next 2. If we keep rolling good Thieves' Gloves items, maybe. But I feel like we don't have damaging items is the problem. We slam the QSS to, like, give us more value to win this. We get it just in time before the crash dummies come down.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So, and then we have on the other side, we mentioned, not sure exactly where the Static Shiv is going to go. We do have it on the Diana for now. 2-star Diana, very strong, but like it doesn't have any like tankiness, so it falls over very quickly. I imagine like on the other side we're looking to go towards like that Vex or something to be able to play the red buff Rage Blade Static Shiv, but not fully sure where that goes. Marcel picking up a big win here too, while having like getting those 2 tanky value, getting strong. Soju hitting the 3-star Leona now. So we don't really need this Arbiter as much anymore, as we can find a better unit to play these items on. I think this is just like more of our like AP flex line. We have 4 Conduit in right now, not something you see a lot of at the moment. That is a lot of mana gen. And we also have the Psionic AP mana item as well. So I feel like this Zoe is going to just non-stop cast.
Something I want to call out, we're not really watching it much here, but Ladder Slayer leveled, or not leveled, probably rolled or stumbled into this Diana too somehow. Looks pretty poor, so I assume there was like a bit of a roll for it, just to lose 3-3 and 3-5 to Setsuko and Robra, who has to go really bad in this spot, but in this side specifically, free Soju, and it's just not enough damage.
Yeah, I want to call it as well, on CMB's board we saw playing that Samira hit the Varus' Obsession artifact item, which is like one of the best items you probably could hit. I don't know the actual stats on it, but being able to get that extra damage on the Samira that's stacking up over the long fight that the Ornn can stall out for, while also healing up the Ornn. So I feel like that's like one of the best like users of that item when you have like a solo tank like that. I saw Dish Soap also hitting like the Ornn over there. It's just, everybody in this lobby, it feels like, has an Ornn too. Well, like
Yep.
multiple people contesting it, so I feel like we're hitting upgrades here, but like we really need the Zaya too from Cambulé as we're sitting down here, 15 HP. And like everyone else is gonna start spiking too. So
Yeah.
also Brotherhood did win those 2 fights, so we'll be cashing out Warpath pretty soon. We saw also leveled to 8.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how this roll down goes. We hit our Jin, we hit
Jin
double Jin.
pair.
We still have 10 more rerolls. I mean, this is what you would call an epic roll down. Very well done. We got Borin, so now that we're like strong, we can win these 2. We can get back a little bit of that econ. If we hit, let's see, what item we not? Do we have a Last Whisper? Okay, we go ahead and
we
just
don't need it. We have
Giant
Ace
Slayer. Okay, true. Good point. And then as we match up into this Varus Obsession Samira that we called out, still on Ornn 1 on the other side. So that's where it's just like even Cambulé here, just holding Ornn 2, Samira 2, just to grief all the other players, to grief CMB, grief Dish Soap, and whoever a third one was. Warpath 70 HP. So close. One more win and you cash out. We'll see what augment they get. Something to help get that cash out. Because once you get the 1, I think it's a 2-star 4 cost. I think 2 5 cost, and I forget if it's gold or an item.
So it's just a little.
Do we take chaos?
Yeah. We're level 9. That's really huge.
Okay. We just skipped all the way to level 9. We find Vex, but we don't really have Vex items. We get our 5 Nova in. So we haven't seen Nova a lot. I feel like this has got to be enough to cash out. They did buff the Nova. They buffed Kindred recently. They buffed the Nova Kindred. Yeah, we see Marcel hitting the Ornn. Cambulé hitting the Jin 2 that you called out, I think is the really, really big one. This board is insane. Look how many Ornns and Samiras we're holding.
By the way.
This is definitely where, yeah, I mean, he's doing his job. Needs to get into check, needs to stop the other players. The problem is, like, okay, what about the others that are going to sneak in while you're doing this? What about Soju on the other side? That it doesn't look like anyone's griefing. What about Brother Bahu, who's going to cash out the Warpath? Like, everyone's working together to stop Marcel B. But one of the other 2 could sneak in. But this board from Cambulé is just like one of the strongest boards you can probably see at 4-2.
I'll say Cambulé, I'm assuming got XP by the way, is on level 9 now after taking the Call of Chaos. That had to be probably like one of the best things to hit in that spot.
What? We have an Ornn 3 here.
Wait, what? Hey, what?
We have Ornn 3 while we're holding.
We have
every
one
Ornn
Samira.
Like, and for those, Ornn is like the real one you really need. Like, if you had to choose between Ornn 3 and Samira, you're definitely, like, you want the Ornn. However, I would also like to have a Samira too, to be able to...
Brother who cashed out, I believe. 88 HP now, I'm assuming?
Oh yeah, because they had to have won the last one. Yeah, we can see...
Yep.
We see 2 Fioras.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we have a Riven too that I don't think we had before, so I think the Riven came from the Warpath. So, it's just like, I feel like these items are a little bit awkward to be able to... I mean, if you get the Fiora too, these are good Fiora items. I don't know how long, like... I feel like you do not want to stay on this Kindred for too long. We match up into... It's like one of those where, like, thank goodness you cashed out before you have to fight this Zayed Jin, because nobody's beating this. We sold... Cambulé sold all of the Ornns because they hit already. We're not trying to also deny Ladder Slayer who's not in check, so it's like, okay, like that one you don't need to deny, you've already hit yours. But we will be continuing to buy every Samira, I'm sure.
I mean, honestly, even at level 10, because I'm assuming we're probably going to go level 10.
I'm assuming this Ace will work if you're already level 9, right? Like, it has to? There's...
I have no clue.
I would feel so cheated if I took that and then didn't get my 20 gold. Like, it has to work, because the 30
Okay,
HP
Cambulé took it. Okay, I'm going to assume that all these players know that interaction.
Yeah. So, which is just crazy because you know that Boone's created here because like, hey, nobody's supposed to be level 9. So it's like, hey, a thing you have to go out of your way to hit a bit, like hit a few turns early, like you have to sack some econ to get it. No, what if we're just 2 players are already level 9? And then we see pick it up and then immediately get the 20.
Wow.
We're at 60, we're going straight to level 10. And we're playing the Samira that we've been holding to grief. Okay, this is... And as a reminder, players in check are Brabahu, Soju, and Marcel V. Cambule is not one in check, so if he wins this, we definitely are going to a next... Dish Soap, who is also... we haven't taken a look at Dish Soap's board recently, but he is currently streaking. Also playing, I believe, Zaya. Yeah, another Zaya player on this board. Has the Nunu too as well.
I can
Also,
see why
playing
Marcel is
Samiras
not
to
finding
hold.
any Samiras.
So, good job, Lobby. Stopped one player. We're gonna get a bunch. And as a reminder, Dish Soap cannot get into check. Even if it goes first, he'll be at 19 points. So this is kind of like the player that you want to win if you're trying to like go to like if we want to see a game 7. So
I think Soju's winning this one.
yeah, I would put money on we're probably seeing a game 6 at minimum.
We called out that even though Marcel was on the Samira 1, this Orn 3 is the star of the show. Marcel just beat the Warpath cash out, by the way.
Yeah, that's definitely a little concerning when you have the Warpath and you're like, I'm losing to 1-star carry. This Orn unit is just that good.
Yeah.
But this is also where like it does give you that. Also, why the Orn is more important because if you don't hit the Samira, you can just play around Nami instead.
Does
So it still
Trifecta
has
work
that
on
now.
double Orn?
Yes, because it can give them to. It would give it to both Orns and the third Samira, so it's still good here. Not that like Orn is one that you want trifecta value from, because just watching this Orn get knocked up 4 different times, being thrown to the back and not able to do something.
This Orn has not hit them. They're half HP and the rest of the board is dead.
This Orn has to 1v. It's just being tossed around. It can't even cast. It can't do anything. So, I don't know who's taking Cambule down.
I'll say, as long as Marcel can't hit these Samiras or hit the upgraded Nami for a while, Cambule should always, like, this matchup is so good specifically for the Zaya.
And this is what one of the problems is everyone hits their Blitzcranks, like being your solo frontline. Because the Blitzcrank will just throw it away, and it's like, okay, now your tank is in your own backline, and your other units are just gonna get hit.
It's like, that's a really good point as well, because, like, in addition, like, this isn't gonna matter because you kill the backline before you kill the Orn. If you move the Orn back, you're getting an extra, like, 2 or 3 hexes of sniper value. Very small thing, but it's something regardless.
And when typically, like, you have the Samira as the carry, like, if you knock the Orn back, the Samira on that team is getting less sniper value because it's like, hey, we push the whole fight closer to their snipers. So it's a win-win there, fighting against it.
Should see what the second item slam is. We've seen a few Ginsus be played on these Space Grave units with all the extra attack speed you get. Assume that's what the slam's going to be from here. Archangel, okay.
I also feel like playing around this, like, we need to find a way to level to be able to play Rogue. I feel like this Gwen needs that Rogue trade in, but I don't know how you're getting it, because you're not getting the next level, and there's nothing to take out.
And you'd always rather have Bat instead.
But, yeah, we see the Leona matchup into the Orn, just look very, very different. We don't have, like, a carry. We can't knock it back far enough. This Orn, surprisingly, did get pretty low, but not enough. And that's Soji going knocked out. That's one of our check players that are out. And CMB barely going 7th by 1 HP. All he needed to go to get 20 points. That gives him his 2 points, 20 exactly. That's like a 1 HP difference that could have been, oh, that's 1 less player in check from the next round. So
this is an interesting conundrum here. Not to detract, like, what you do, whether or not you want to, like... Because you need to win this
I
fight
think-
regardless. You have to find a way to make this Blitzcrank. Okay, we do decide that that is the play.
Yeah, I think was debating on, is the LeBlanc with Shepard more value than this 1-star Vex?
Decides to itemize the Blitzcrank.
Interesting.
I think that's
We
a
have the extra
really
item
good
from
idea.
Sona. Rolls the death cap, which is the best thing could have rolled. I think that's
Our Pike killed Nami.
really good adaptation. So we've killed everything. Another way to get to the backline there. So now we're just fighting just this one Ornn. The Ornn is the entire team. And its HP is still not dropping. It's
Wow.
this. If you needed to see how strong Ornn is, here you go. We have a scaling Vex, a 2-star Sona, 2-star Blitzcrank, 3-star Leona. Like all of these units that just like are struggling to take down a single unit that just sits there and heals. So
I just want to call out, this Pike unit in conjunction with like the static shift from the Blitzcrank and like the AoE damage on backline was able to actually take out the Nami there, which is a lot of the damage coming from Marcel's board. This Pike is usually on this board as kind of an afterthought, right? It's just here to proc Psionic for an extra item on your board. It's just here for Voyager. It doesn't really do that much most of the time, but that time being kind of the star of the board, really getting rid of all the damage and making that fight actually like playable. Because we saw how long, if the backline was still alive, how long it took just to kill the points. We don't know how that fight could have gone, and that keeps him alive and maybe help him cap out now that he has the Vex 2.
yeah, and hitting this Vex 2 is huge here because this might be the difference maker in this fight. Like, it doesn't seem. It doesn't seem like it's quite enough though. Setsuko's board is just this entire lobby has. Oh, maybe nope.
Nope.
And so Ladder Slayer, I was gonna call it, needs a second to be able to be put into check. And we're seeing a familiar thing here: Ornn versus the world every single time. We just cannot hit our carry units to be able to do anything.
Wow.
That is just Ornn. Surprisingly, kill all but one unit still, but this has to feel so bad for Marcel that it's just like, I just need an upgrade. We cash out the Acel quest. Oh no, that wasn't the. Yeah, that was the.
Yeah, that was the Acel.
Spoon one. To play 3 fights, get our gold, get our item anvils, and still not enough to get.
Wow.
Do we play double Ramus? It is too tanky.
I think you can. You need more damage though. You have all these AP items.
Yeah, you need
I
damage
forgot.
units. You don't have the items for it. Because I think the Ornn 2 is better.
You're just gonna take a hard loss here. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if Marcel's just hoping to Ramus 3.
I'm assuming it's gonna be a
Is that
backdoor
the win
look
out
here.
angle? Because surprisingly, this Nami's still alive. We haven't gotten any backline damage yet from this Zaya and
That's
this
one
Jin.
down,
Really
and that's
struggling to
this
kill. But now that everything else is done, the feathers are gonna start bouncing over. So now we just have to
Wow.
kill this Ornn. These fights are actually really, really close for this Ornn. We do it. Oh, interesting that we locked for it. So we start selling. But like.
We hear all the pings coming out.
I don't think
I don't think
like
you're gonna
you
hit
don't
Ramus
have the
this game.
gold. Oh, okay, I think was probably scouting, checking for everyone to see if anyone's holding Ramus, but everyone pinged it. I mean, it is the only way out. We saw us not winning
Yeah.
any fights without it, so you kind of had to. But yeah, it's just everyone working so hard. Dish Soap holding the Nami. It's just everyone holding everything. Where it has to feel bad as Marcel, but it's also like, hey, it's checkmate. That's what you signed up for. But it's like,
Yep.
you gotta look over and like, why is everyone hitting me? Why? What about Brubbahu over here?
I was gonna
who
say,
can still win it all. We still have one more
Brubber is
player in
sneakily
check.
very healthy right now still after the Warpath cash out. And we saw in the one fight had pivoted over fully to the Vex Graves board. Has a chance if they can hit critical mass to actually win out from the spot, but it's gonna be hard with Cambule in the lobby.
Yeah, but we've also seen that like the snipers can sometimes struggle to kill some of these front lines fast enough. And if you have all of your board upgraded, like we have the Fiora upgraded, we have the Blitz upgraded.
Is this tank Graves again?
It potentially could be. If we check the Graves augments, we don't. Okay, so it is. So this is what I feel like normally you see when you don't have any Graves items, you do go for this tank set or tank Graves that we saw. We don't have any of the items. I'm curious if we move Morgana items, if you feel like, okay, it's stacked up enough of these things where it's just straight up a better tank. Or if we just continue to keep them on Morgana. But it's like a lot of gold invested to grab all of those upgrades. We see Dish Soap also hit a Jin 2 and a Tom Kench 2 on the other side. Thieves Love, great find there for it. And
I wonder
also
how much damage
rolling
this
some
Graves
easy
do, because this
items.
is a very interesting adaptation. This board, like, you should technically have enough damage with upgraded Blitz, Fiora 2, and Vex 2 with basically Biss. So this kind of adaptation is very interesting.
These are just some everyone's like level 10 capped out boards. It seems like everything's getting thrown around. The Blitz throws the Graves back, but like Graves is fine with that. He can do some more damage. The Blitzcrank's still alive on the side. Fiora doing a bunch of damage. This Vex untouched. But as we can see here, the shielding coming in from the Graves there, and it comes out very, very, very close. Like, it's so cool to see tank Graves, not really see it perform here.
And Cambuli lost. Cambuli lost to Dish
Cambuli
Soap.
lost to Dish Soap, right? If we could take a look over at Dish Soap's board, see, I know just hit the Jin. Basically, they're very similar in boards as to what Cambuli's was. So, don't know exactly what happened in that fight or how close it is.
I mean, these are
Setsuko
really good
hit Bard
new
3.
items.
Setsuko
What?
Bard 3.
Wait, what?
Huh?
I didn't even see that on his bench.
Okay, so we are going to game 6. I don't think Bravo is going to beat this one.
Yeah, did not have the gold to, I think, hit another 5 plus.
Here comes the UFO.
An underrated aspect of this is that the UFO will kidnap all these units, so Bro who literally can't go for these units.
Here, I just stole your whole board. We're just printing
Wait,
a
we got a
Morgana
Morgana
3. Oh, a Fiora 3?
Hey,
Are these
Fiora 3.
actually 3? They're like... Okay. Bard 3 wasn't enough. We've got
We have 100.
Blitz 3, Morgana 3, Fiora 3. We have 130 gold. Can we roll for another 3-star 5 cost? Can we get some more? Like...
Oh my god. Maybe next turn with the thing we'll have enough time.
What do we pull this turn if he doesn't double kill both?
Jin.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, but we have the
If you wanna
Fiora
kill it
cutscene.
first-
It's not
but
gonna
no,
suck
no.
everything up in time.
We'll see the UFO sucking it.
We're not gonna get more units. Take Fiora off. We need. Oh, never mind. Here they come. Oh, we only sucked up 2. We're griefing ourselves playing Fiora.
Well, I don't think the Dish Soap Bro. I guess Dish Soap still needs points regardless.
Oh. Dish Soap's board beat Bro.
Dish Soap grabs this.
Grabs the second. So Bro wouldn't have won anyways from the Bard 3 at least, so you don't feel like you fully got cheated there, but and Dish Soap needing every point, being the only player that could not get into check, that'll put him at 18 points. So he's like him and Ladder Slayer I think are the only 2 not in check yet. So there are 2 players that like we need to see win out if we're trying to get to a game 7. So oh, what crazy games to end on. I don't know where this Bard 3 came from. Would not have guessed on that one.
I have no clue.
I'm gonna need to watch with the clips of that later, 'cause that was crazy.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure
heard the
that'll be
things
on
going
TNT
off, and I
clips at
didn't
some
know
point.
what it was about because I didn't see that many bards, and then just appeared.
Yeah, we're all over here trying to deny Orns and Samira's and up Bard 3. So, yeah, I think I don't know. It's just like what a great way to set up what is probably going to be our final lobby. We have potential for 2 more, but yeah, I did not expect a Bard 3. And then it's cool to see that because I've not actually seen it print all the 3-star legendaries. So we're gonna pull up scores here shortly. Once
So
we're
I think
able
with,
to
with
refresh
6
and
people-
see our points.
With 6 people in check now, no one's gonna be really griefing each other anymore. At this point, it is just whoever wins wins. So that's kind of potentially maybe that makes Marcel feel better about how hard they got griefed that game, but yeah. That
Yeah,
still
I
must
think
feel a little tilting that your Samira 2 got griefed harder than Bard 3.
it's. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, and it was one of those too. But like we mentioned, Marcel, you're just there. Like I can't hit my units. Everybody in this lobby is holding my units. It's like, why are we not holding the other players? We're not the only one in check. There's others here too. Like we need to stop these others. Not that you could have expected to stop the Bard 3, but uh, Rubber Boohoo very easily could have won that lobby. It was very close.
Mm-hmm.
Just so getting just a bit stronger there at the end. But all of the boards, I was gonna say at one point, these boards all like insanely strong. I was in the middle of saying that, and then we have Bard 3, so it's like it doesn't matter anymore how strong these are. So yeah, I think it's I don't know, kind of crazy finish to there as we pull up scores. Like we'll see everyone in check except for Ladder Slayer and Dish Soap. So it's just gonna come down to anyone else that can get first. Uh, so yeah, and then I think as we load into this final game, I think if we could send to a break right before we get there, and then we'll come back with potentially last game, maybe two. We'll see. So stay tuned.